Hey everybody, welcome to 20 Sides to Every Story. My name is Casey, and you might be hearing a loop back. 1 second as I find where it's going. There we go. Didn't mute my extra life page. So we are doing a adventure in Dragonbane tonight. We are playing for the kids. We are doing our week of giving, and we are donating to Extra Life. We are working under Alex's page, so it is going to the Wisconsin Children's Hospital, I believe. That is correct. And if you do wish to donate, you can go ahead and type exclamation point donate. There it goes, and that'll bring up the link. Right now, we have a couple of benefits that you can get for tonight's game. The first one is boons. Boons work a little bit like advantage, but they can apply more than one to get extra d20s to make things happen good. This is a roll under game, which means they want ones. Ones are dragons, dragons are good. 20s are demons, demons are bad. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we get into the adventure. You could also buy some Banes. Banes means that I, the DM, get to make their life harder. So if we have a Bane in stock, that means I can make them roll an extra die and take the worse of the two. I can also cancel out one of their boons, so we could get into an auctioning situation where they try and spend a boon, I spend a bane, and we'll see how that goes. We can also step up and buy some ferocity. Ferocity means that the monsters that I'll be unleashing get to do an extra action on their round. Monster actions are kind of neat in this game's structure, where they basically always hit, or at least always do their thing. So monster ferocity is good. And then the last one in there is for our random events. Normally, I'll be making them roll like a d20 or something, and this will be one of the ones where they want to roll high so that nothing exciting happens as they, do their events or do their investigations. But with a $100 sponsor there for our random event table, they will only get to roll how many results I have left, so they must have something exciting happening to them. Could be good, could be bad, but it'll definitely be something. So that's kind of our overview for this evening, and I hope everybody has a chance to get in. So far, we have raised $1,005 for our Extra Life campaign this year. So thanks to all the generosity so far. I know we've had a Dolmenwood session. We had our jukebox. We've got our Dragonbane tonight, and we're going to have another Dragonbane later in the week. And am I missing something, Alex?
Tomorrow night we have 20 sides against Lankmar. We're going to be doing the third level adventure, the Rats of Ilfmar.
That's right. We're bringing the Lankmar team back for another adventure there. So, a lot of stuff to do. But tonight, let's talk a little bit about what we can expect from Dragonbane. And so I've got a little intro to read here as everybody kind of settles in. And that is the oldest times. It was in the oldest times, before the world was covered in forest and iron was tamed by dwarven masters, before the advent of humanity and the mastery of bread and ale-making arts. The world was then ruled by dragons and demons. Yes, draconic serpents and demonic creatures were the princes and princesses of the oldest times. They were the primordial forces through which the world and its primeval matter was formed, the sky, the mountains, and the fiery oceans of magma and unthinking life. They were opposing principles that made the world complete. Law and order versus chaos and madness. The stable and fixed versus the wild and eternally fluid. Dragons versus demons. The most ancient records tell of a draconic empire that once spanned much of the known world, where the emperor's peace was upheld by cruel dragon-mounted knights. But the texts also contain traces of another great power from a different age, governed by demon princes who shrouded the world in madness and savage rage. Remnants of these realms still rest in the earth beneath our feet. In the depths of the great forests and the chasms of the mountains slumber memories from ancient eras when vicious beasts reigned. The hostility between dragons and demons has brought death and ruin upon their ancient civilizations. It seems almost a fundamental law of nature that anything created by dragons alone is corrupted by demons, and that anything born of demonic will, is burned to ashes by dragon fire. However, this basic and incontrovertible truth also gives hope, for it has created the conditions for other nations, where humans and other races have been able to flourish and to go their own way. But the ancient guardians of order and destruction will never leave the world to its fate. As sure as night follows day, the time will come again when dragons and demons contend for power over humanity, nature, and the eternal mysteries. It is into this realm that you have found yourselves, 5 adventurers who I'll be asking to introduce themselves in just a moment. You've made your way from the town of Outskirt to a barrow, a place of burial and holy mounds that have fallen into disrepair. A mystic has pointed you in this direction, saying that a wound has opened in the earth and it must be cleansed. There are, of course, treasures and other such things for you to find, and perhaps something to put to rest. But now, as I ask you to introduce yourselves, if you would be so kind as to say a little bit about yourself in the real world, as much as you'd like, and then a little bit about yourselves in the world of Dragonbane and introduce your character. We'll kind of do the semicircle around, and that's going to start moving from what looks like my left over to Alex and Makander of Half Bay. Alex, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself and your character.
Hey everyone, I'm Alex, and I will be playing Makander of Half Bay. He's the youngest son of Baron Half Bay. I have many older siblings, and was not content to be wasting my better days waiting for an inheritance that'll likely never come. So I've joined this group, and will go on this adventure in hopes of forging my own path and hopefully making my own name for myself.
Sounds great. And stepping to the left from there around the sea, I've got Archmaster Aedhan. If you wouldn't mind introducing yourself and your character.
Hey everybody, this is Jeff. Good to see you all here tonight. I am playing Archmaester Adahan tonight. According to my character sheet, my age is old,
It's a good
which
age.
explains me. Yeah. Um, from an early age, I've been fascinated with fire. My sorceress mother brought me to a school of magicians after I accidentally burned down the family farm's barn. At school, I learned the secrets of magic, but the thirst for deeper knowledge has made me restless. So, after a few years of extensive travel, I have joined a company of adventurers for an expedition to the Misty Vale.
Sounds great. And along with Archmaster Aedhan, we have Bastion Bloodjaw. Bastion, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself and your character.
I think I'm next in the camera order, but I'm playing Chrisanna.
Oh, I've got people backwards. Excuse me. Let's see. That's going to be number 3. I thought I had it sorted out and I did it wrong. There we go. How about that? So Bastion would be our dice goblin friend.
Hey everybody, my name is Amit, playing Bastion Bloodjaw tonight. Bastion is a wolfkin from the North Wasteland region. Likes to kind of enjoy the nicer things in life. Got tired of the infighting in his tribe and decided to start traveling south, picking up work along the way, doing odds and ends, mercenary work, pretty much anything he could find in search for the next big thrill. And he now makes his way to the Misty Vale, where he's heard of rumors of worthy opponents.
Excellent, excellent. And I think I see that Potato Lion has donated $5, and $5 is probably a boon. So we'll go ahead and get a boon upticked here as they apparently enjoy what we've done so far. And that's going to bring us then to Orla. Orla, if you wouldn't mind an introduction there.
Yeah, hi, I'm Erin. I'm playing Orla, and Orla it comes from a family of, they had a lot of discipline and reflection and all that jazz. And spent a lot of time there until my village was attacked by a troll and killed many of my kinsmen. Um, and still trying to find my way in the world, so I took up adventuring as a way of sort of going out and finding myself.
Sounds good. And along with that, we then have Krisana, who is now in the right spot. Krisana, if you wouldn't mind the intro.
My name's Michael. I'm playing Chrisana the Bold today. Chrisana's grew up on the streets, has some sticky fingers, got into being a pickpocket, and then from there into going into the big houses to see what they had, basically. Ended up doing some time and managed to get out and decided to steer clear of the city and has gone on some adventures a little bit, sort of plays a little bit loose and wild, figures it out on the fly. That's what Chrisana is.
Sounds good. And since we already had a little bit of sample as to what the donations look like, we'll be keeping an eye out for those as we go. The players may sponsor their own donations if they want to help themselves out. The DM may do so as well. I'll save mine to a little bit later because I've got my eye on some ferocity. But let's go ahead and take a look at that barrow. So the party has started out in the town of Outskirt over here. It's a roughly 50 or so families that have built up a frontier town around the ruins of an old temple. You have received your guidance to head over to Riddermound over here, where a wound has opened up. One of the ancient burial mounds or barrows has become corrupted, and they'd like you to please go and clean that out. Return with what treasures you may, and they are certainly yours to claim. You may donate any of those to the efforts in the town, or you may keep them yourselves. That depends entirely upon what you want to get out of it. But it is there that you will be headed. Now, the journey you traveled through most of the day to arrive, it is late afternoon into evening, so the sun is setting behind the hills and mountains. You've still got a little bit of light left. And Susan Lacundi, thank you very much for the donation. That looks like we got one more boon to help out there. Bump that one up just a little bit. And let's go ahead and bring our characters over to the main play area. Things should go a bit dark, and then we should find ourselves over about this place. And if the characters would be so kind as to click on the characters, try and shift them around a little bit, just make sure I have given you proper control of your characters. You should also see that there are 2 torches. In this game, elves, dwarves, no dark vision. So you're going to be carrying torches with you as you go. I've put 2 on the board for you to move around with you as you transport. Everybody have control of their characters okay?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Now, you have arrived as evening is coming on. You've traveled for the better part of the day, but you've traveled conservatively. You've kept yourselves fresh. Your energy level is pretty good. A hill crowned by tall standing stone rises in a glade in the middle of the forest. The place is strangely quiet. However, you notice a faint but ominous odor, a putrid stench like that of rotten vegetables. At the top of the hill, it is crowned with a series of standing stones, menhirs. The western side and the southern side, the stones lean outward from the circle as if the hill has collapsed beneath them. You know from previous experience that these burial mounds would normally be circular stoneworks built up inside of a hill that had been dug out or one that had been raised for this purpose. So it looks as though the western side and southern side had seen a bit of a collapse. Atop the hill, you can see a 2 by 2 meter stone, so roughly 6 foot by 6 foot, or 10 foot by 10 foot if we want to round up a bit. Embedded in the earth, it's been shifted a bit, and a small gap on the side, maybe 1 meter or so, just enough for someone to squeeze through, reveals a deep pit or hole beneath it. There are footprints in the grass. You can see that people had moved over in that direction and descended, but no one seems to have carried anything out. No signs of that climbing or tearing of the grass that you would expect had someone made their way back out. Now, this is your first glance. We could use some skills to get a bit more information. Things that might immediately jump out to you would be some of your alertness rolls to keep an eye on what's going on in the area. Something like a bushcraft roll, which is similar to survival, to track that sort of thing. Or any of the other skills that might catch your eye. Applying those skills takes what is a shift in this game, roughly 15 minutes. So if you all would like to work together or work separately, or ignore those things and dive straight down the hole, it's all up to you at this point. So I'll turn it over to our players. In this situation, evening coming on, you've got your torches lit just in case. What are you doing?
Are there
How
any
far from the
markings or
road?
anything on the standing stones?
That's a good question. I think there's some skills that might help you out with that. I would say if you're going to try and make your way through that, a myths and legends would help to identify any meaning behind the markings. There are certainly markings on them, but it's been hundreds of years. 10
I'll
on
give that a
10.
shot.
So you are working your way through the myths and legends and looking at what you have. That'll occupy Makander for about 15 minutes. What else is everybody doing?
I'm going to check for any sort of tracks or indication as to what might have gone in or come out and which way they were going.
Sure. Can I get a bushcraft roll from you then? 9 is lower than 12, so that'll be successful as we come out. What else have we got?
I'm going to try to spot any hidden things around us.
Sounds good. Let's go with, I believe that is the awareness roll. Or spot hidden.
That's spot hidden. Yeah.
Spot hidden, excuse me. "12 is under 14, so doing well there. Anyone else activities?
You said there were signs of people going down.
That is correct.
Is it ultra steep? Was there a rope tied in or anything like that? Can you see how they got down? Is it just a scramble down a steep slope? Or?
So it's a hole that opens up underneath it. You don't see any signs of a rope immediately, but let's go with I would say another bushcraft for that there. Go ahead and give me another bushcraft.
Ooh. Did that go?
Haven't seen it come through yet. There it goes. 15 over 6, so not as successful on that one. And just as a reminder, you got 2 boons, but you do need to declare them before the rolls go off. So if you want to spend more energy on that, we can. And that is our first round of folks. Who am I missing?
Is there a skill to just see what is in the encompassing area? While the rest of this group is performing their own checks, just to
Sure.
make sure that nothing is creeping up on us.
Let's go with an awareness on that one.
All right.
All right. 8 over 5, not as great on that one. And since now everyone is occupying for 15 minutes or so, I get to ask you for the first of whoever would like to roll it first, a d20 of which you would like to roll a high number. A high number means nothing exciting happens. A low number means I got to look at the table. So whoever would like to throw a d20 out there.
I'm entirely too faint-hearted to do so.
I got
14 is high enough that nothing exciting happens as you put this information together. So, Mikander, you are studying the stones and thinking back on the different inscriptions that you see. Now, there is language on the stones, but it is old and weathered away enough that it is very hard to discern what it initially was. It looks to be a story. It at one point wrapped around each of the stones several times. You could see that bits repeated here, bits repeated there. But it is not only a language that has been lost, but it looks to have been done in a very stylized method. The engraving has extra flourishes on it so that it's even hard to tell a letter from another set. You would imagine, based on the location and what it is, that this is the tales of those who are buried or interred there. Since it's matched up, you see a piece here, a piece there. Whoever it was is someone of great importance, and a motif that you're able to pick out is a very high-horned helm. But the actual pieces to it aren't really there. That high-horned helm, however, you've seen other places in this valley as you've traveled. The milestone markers have a similar motif atop it, so this is a person or a family of great importance that lies buried there. Orla and Krisanna, with their bushcraft, taking a look around at those tracks and then where they've gone, it looks as if either those that descended just jumped down, or they were aided from above, and those above have left and taken the gear with them. So you don't see a definitive point where a recent, kind of saw mark in the grass indicates there was a rope here or a ladder or a pole or anything like that. The dirt that was disturbed when they shifted the stones was loose enough that it probably just crumbled away and fell in. But you can see that there are spots where people were heading down, but no tracks coming back out the other way, and no sign of the equipment that they left behind. Aidhan and then Bastion. Aidhan, what you've noticed is there are marks in the ground of a large mace or a flail, something with a spiked bald head that has impacted the ground several times in the area. It might have been a weapon that someone just dropped. It might have been one that they thumped down. Can't really tell from there. You don't see any signs of blood or a recent fight, but someone's got a big spike-headed mace or flail, some sort of ball-like weapon there. And then Krisanna, I think what you've picked out is the forest around you is fairly dense. You can see a few other mounds or barrows in the area, but this one is the largest, and this is the only one that has this crown of menhirs. The others look like they've been raised, and you would say maybe intentionally a little lower than this one. The forest itself around is very quiet, and I think it's probably got that sound that only happens when predators are about. The birds go quiet, the insects don't buzz for a little bit. There's sort of that feel of perdition about. And with that all, where are we headed from here? Oh, excuse me, and looks like an anonymous boon has been applied, so 3 boons to your names. Thank you, Anonymous. No hacking, please.
Well, I suppose we should talk about the task at hand when you're going to need to go down below. I'm willing to lead the way, but who would like to be our torch bearers?
I need my hands free for my bow and arrow, so.
Grab a torch. Dagger in one hand, torch in the other.
I don't mind grabbing another torch. I have a spear in one hand. torch in the other.
Can we
Did we-
see how far down the drop is?
Sure.
Look over and stick the torch in the hole.
Yep. Torch down the hole or string in a rock, and you are able to determine that you have about a 10 meter, so about 30 feet from the crown of the hill to the floor below.
Oh, look at that. I have a 10-meter rope.
Let's.
Is there something to attach it to?
Oh, there's these standing stones right here.
A
Does
little
anybody
bit.
else have rope?
Good.
Yep.
How far? Do we know how far the standing stone is from this drop point? Are we able
It's
to?
about 4 meters. So a little bit of
Could-
tying rope to rope, and you would be able to secure them to the stone, and then over the edge and down with a couple of knots to make it reasonably easy to climb.
Yeah.
Well, with our ropes
It's-
combined, we climb into the planet.
I think that's a plan.
All right. We get to going about doing that. Who's first down to shimmy down?
Definitely not I.
I could take
Okay.
the lead.
I'll go in behind.
Sure, sounds good. So the person taking the lead, I think someone mentioned dropping a torch down. So as you sort of let the torch head down and duck your head in, you can see that it is a vaulted earthen cave. There is a door in the north wall, and that's about what you can make sort of hanging down upside down before you need to turn about and descend in more proper fashion. If I could have an acrobatics check for you, please. You do have a boon, at least one, from the rope and the assistance from above. A 13, however, is higher than a 10. So unless... Wait. Did you put a 1 in boon or bane?
I just clicked acrobatics.
You clicked acrobatics. You are wearing armor that makes your acrobatics have a bane to it. So Makander is heavily armored in plate, so a little bit dangly on that one. However, the boon and the bane would cancel out, and the first number rolled was a 2, so you would be okay heading down there. So it gave you the automatic bane because of your heaviness of your armor. But in spite of that, you're able to slide down, maybe a little rope burn on the palms, and land at the bottom. Go ahead and scoot Makander and a torch over. And then who were the next coming down?
Bastion will go down.
You got it. Bastion, you now have the rope and someone on the ground to assist, so you get 2 boons. So if you put 2 in the boons at the top, that should give you an extra 2 dice to roll, a total of 3.
Acrobatics again.
And acrobatics, yes, please. No problem. Bastion of Lights.
I can go next.
You got it. Orla, you'll be the last one that's risky because after that we've got enough people down there to catch anybody who falls. But you will be rolling with 2 boons, if you would.
Okay, so I put 2 in the boon slot and then just click.
Yep, 2 in the boons and click. And
Yeah.
5 is lower than 14. Actually, all of your rolls were lower than 14, so no problem. The party is able to descend. Is there anyone who's not going down in the hole?
Well, I'm certainly not staying up here alone.
Fair enough.
Want to see what's down there?
As the party descends, we'll go ahead and shift our view over a little bit. And let's talk about what you can see. So you pass through a strata of dirt, then a strata of stacked stone, fairly large pieces. You can see they were stacked up, and then sort of a ring works from there. As you reach the bottom of the shaft, you can see on the northern side there is a door as well as guardians flanking it. And to the south side, it looks as though the wall has collapsed in over what used to be a tunnel or an entryway to the south. So the southern wall is a bit ruined. The northern wall has a nice big door on it, and there's two statue guardians there. The dome-shaped chamber with a floor of beaten earth. In the darkness far above, the opening to the surface looks like a faintly glowing square. The north wall is a set of double oak doors with iron fittings. A silvery symbol stretches across both doors, which are flanked by statues of knights in antiquated armor.
It's a wonder they thought to leave the skylight open if they just tunneled in.
So looking up, that the skylight would be where the stone had been shifted that you just descended from. The ruined wall to the south, there's definitely some cracks in there, but I don't think you could get even a tiny halfling through there.
Not now.
The skylight wasn't always open, right? It was
Just recently.
yeah.
You can see where the moss and the grass and vines had grown up around it, and it was shifted probably within the last day or so.
We go over and have a look at the door and the guardians.
Sure.
See what we can see.
And as you head over in that direction, would you be so kind as to roll stealth for me?
Is that sneaking?
Sneaking, excuse me, sneaking.
Yeah.
I'll be converting skill names wrong quite a bit. 14 on the nose. So as you are moving forward, you put your foot down into a pile of something a bit nasty, and a smell comes up at you as you break kind of the crusty dryness of a pretty sizable pile of guano. You manage to, keep the silence down and tilt your head up, and you notice that the ceiling moves a bit.
Gonna just point up.
Everybody
Keep
sort
it,
of
Mum.
tilts their head up, and you can see in the flickering couple of little beady black and red eyes catching the light looking down at you, leathery wings stretching, bats, quite a few of them. This must be a roost of theirs, and there's probably just enough space for the little beasties to squeeze their way out through that fallen southern door. All over the place up there. It's evening.
Mind your heads, boys. All right. Well,
You're gonna be
great.
on the move
Hopefully
soon.
they just fly on out. Let's check out these guardians, eh?
Yeah. Orla, as you make the move forward towards there, could I get a stealth from you? And who are holding the torches, if you would remind me again? Krisana's got one.
Bastion has the other.
Bastian has the other. Okay.
I'm
Yep.
giving you a sneaking.
And a sneaking. Orla, you're able to make your way over there, and you can see that a couple of the bats up on the ceiling are kind of doing that little claw shuffle that they do to get away from where the smoke is coming up and irritating them. But they haven't really broke out so far. The statues are well carven. They look to be knights. They have a stylized helm to them, not quite the massive pointy one that you saw, on the milestone markers, but certainly in that fashion. They look to be protective, guardian, but at the same time, there's a reassuringness to them. There's a welcoming sort of thing. They're guardians at the door of a hotel, not guardians, warding off all comers.
All right. Is there any? You mentioned that there was some sort of silver inscription or something on the doors.
Yeah, there is. So how about we talk about the doors? The doors themselves are slightly ajar. And you can see that that same stylized crown design is on the doors. You have to kind of tilt a little bit to see it as it's matched across the slightly ajar doors, but again, it's that crown piece. There's script on the doors as well, but that's covered in quite a bit of dust and other debris. Little cleaning could take care of that for you, but that's going to be a lot of scraping noises.
Mm.
You
Can
said the
I?
doors were ajar, they're not locked.
They are ajar,
They're
correct? They
closed.
are open.
Okay.
Just enough probably to squeeze somebody small through.
All right. Well, I'm not too big on the horizontal access, so I'll try to squeeze through.
Sure.
If somebody doesn't mind bringing a torchlight a little bit closer so the light goes through.
I'll fall behind for light.
Bastian, as you start to move forward for the light, can I get a sneak roll from you as well?
Sure.
4/12, not bad, not bad. You able to move forward, keeping the torch smoke from disturbing too many of the bats at once. They're definitely restless up there, but not causing an immediate problem. As you get to the doorway, you're able to see a little bit further in a hallway that extends. There is an opening to the east and the west. There's another small circular room to the north there, and you can see another set of guards. There's also a strange sort of grid of light, patches, square light, faintly glowing a veil, something white with a yellowy white light behind it. It's very faint, and you probably would not be able to see it if you came closer with your torch, but from here you can see it sort of lighting up the wall there, like a big waffle iron. The walls.
we?
Good.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, the walls in this area are in better repair. The stacked stone of the barrow still looks fairly clean and dry, but you can see some tendrils have worked their way down off to the west. Not the full destruction that's behind you to the south.
We need to open the doors wider for our whole party to get through.
You could squeeze through one at a time, but it would still be a bit of a move to get folks across without disturbing the bats.
Okay.
So Bastian, you're now up here, and I believe that was Orla who's kind of squozing their way up there.
I'm afraid to move. I'm standing as still as I can, but I'm a bit encumbered.
Is there any way to aid our more clunky companions?
You could, but you'd have to go back to them.
All right.
Prasanna can.
Can I use puff of smoke to help him?
Puff of smoke in this situation would be more likely to disturb the bats, I think. Just because right now they're resting. However, I believe I see that Orla's attempt to return maybe didn't go so well as she tried to squeeze back between those doors, and between the bow and other weapons she might have, a few things may have gone clunk. Up above, there's a bit of a disturbance. The bats shift about, and then they begin to drop. First one, then the other, then dozens, then scores, then maybe 100, maybe a few more. Massive swarm of bats. Many of them are spinning about. A few of them are shooting out through the top. Some are headed south, but they're a bit angry. And so we're going to learn about initiative. And initiative in Dragonbane happens via cards. So what I'm going to do is draw cards. I'm going to assign initiative numbers. You want a low number on your card. That will let you go first. So we'll go ahead and start with Mikander because you happen to be right there. Mikander, we pull a 3 on the card. So we'll go ahead and give you a 3. We've got Archmaster 8-Hand, who gets a 9. Give you a 9 on the indicator there. We've got Bastion, who's going to pick up an 8. Bastion, did you get your 8? Nope, because I clicked on the torch. Bastion gets an 8. Excuse me there. And we're going to go ahead and give Orla a card. Orla's going to come up with the 10. And we're going to go ahead and give Krisanna a card. Krisanna is going to come up with the 7. And my bats have a current ferocity of 2, so they get 2 cards. They get a 5 and a 6.
Sorry.
All right, all our cards are recalled. We start from low, we head towards high. Couple of things to know about combat is you get to do a move and an action on your turn. Move, you can move up to your movement speed in meters. So this is blocked off in 5-meter segments, or sorry, 2-meter segments. So roughly 6 feet or so of movement, so 2 meters at a shot. You can move, attack, and then move, so you can move yourself around there. If you have not used your action, you then have a dodge that you can do as well. If you have expended your action, then you cannot dodge. So those at a lower set who may be wanting to have a dodge available might want to hang on to their action. But that is a thing you can decide. Lowest on the board I see is a 3, which is Mikander. Mikander, there is a swarm of vampiric bats spiraling down, looking angry. What are you up to?
How does it work to move through another person's space?
I didn't notice any restrictions about it, so as long as it's a friendly, run right through.
All right. I'm just going to say, run! And I'm going to move here 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think I'll stop right here. I'm basically positioning myself by the door, hoping to make sure that everybody gets through before we close it.
Okay. Mikander, that will use up your movement, but you have not used your action, so your card is still up at a 3. You may dodge if need be. That's going to move us then to the 5 and the 6, which are going to be the bats. The bats swirl down towards the disturbance. As they get close, they do their thing. And that thing is based on a d6, and that d6 says 3. And 3 says the bats launch a joint assault on a player character with the highest constitution. Can I get a quick call out of your constitutions?
15.
17.
16.
13.
I think I heard a 17 in there as the high. Who was that?
Bastion has 17.
Bastion. The bats are headed in your direction, which is where they ended up. Good call me. This will hit you unless you do something. You can attempt to dodge if you would like.
Can I use my guardian ability?
I think so.
So it says I could take a hit to protect your friends if you and another player character are within 2 meters.
You certainly
Um,
are.
So I'll do that. So the attack would attack me instead.
You got it. Makander valiantly interposes themselves, and then you have an action. Would you like to try your dodge?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead and use your evade skill, if you would, please.
Evade.
And you do have some boons if you want to boost the likelihood.
Let's see. Evade. Ye. A pretty low chance that I'm going to actually evade it, but yeah.
With a 15, you do not evade, and so that's going to bring on 2 of the d6s in slashing damage. So 9 points of slashing damage is heading your way, but you do get to reduce that by your armor class. So please subtract your armor class. Armor class doesn't make you harder to hit, it just makes you harder to damage.
Do I roll a d8 on top of that for the shield? Is that what the d8 means?
D8 I think is damage if you decide to smack with it, or if you decide to
Okay.
parry with it. But this particular attack cannot be parried. All
How
right.
much damage did you say it was?
9 points less your armor. And that was initiative 5. Initiative 6 is the bat again. The bats swarm about everyone at a frantic pace. I'm going to need a fear check from Makander, Orla, and Bastion. Krisanna and Aidhan as well. Everybody is within the range as they just start to swoop about, getting in everyone's faces. They're in your hair. They're scratching at you, landing upon you. And that fear check
how
is
do I do
going
the
to
fear
be
check?
good.
Fear. Where's the fear
Yep,
check?
1 second here. That
Right.
is my fear check. A will check, please. Makander is fine. Orla is fine. Dragons all around.
Still not seeing it. On.
Willpower should be up at the top. Krisanna is also fine. Bold indeed.
And it's on the letters for the word willpower that you click. Or will.
I don't see it.
Up at
Weird.
It's
the
like between intelligence and charisma. It's like your ability.
I see it. Never mind.
no problem.
I apologize.
And a dragon for you as well. This fearful attack does not seem to be landing. I've got Orla, I've got Bastion, I've got Krisanna, I've got Makander, I am missing Aidhan. Aidhan. (18-18). Everybody passes unaffected by the tiny monstrosities swirling about you. That is going to bring us to 7, which will be Krisanna. Krisanna, what are you doing as the bats swirl about?
Can I ask how the backstabbing ability that Krisanna has works?
Backstabbing ability, go ahead and hit that one. I don't believe that applies to this one, but ability 2 meters of another player. You can attack on CC items, can't be dodged or parried. Nope, this one totally counts. If you want to use it, go for it.
Okay. Yep. Krisanna will move up behind the bats and use backstabbing.
You got it. Go ahead and roll your weapon. So knives, and you want to roll a 12 or under.
Nope.
19 is over. Sorry, 14 or under for you. 19 is over the 14 though, so that will miss the bats. Too many of them flapping around. Can't get a knife in them. That'll bring us up to 8 for Bastion. Bastion.
All right. I think I'm gonna take a swing. Bastion's gonna take a swing at the bat in front
You got it.
of the group right here. That is a long spear.
Sounds good. Long spear rolled a 17. You were aiming 14 or less, so that will miss. You're just swinging it through the bats. It can't quite connect enough of them. Bastion, are you happy where you're standing?
Are there like attacks of opportunity here where if we move out, is that a thing?
There are attacks of opportunity for other types of creatures. For this one, you could move away. They're sort of all about
Okay.
you.
I will just move back right there.
Sounds good.
That's me.
That'll bring us to 9 Aidhan. Aidhan, what do we got?
Okay, so I have a quick question about the spaces on the floor. Are they 5 meters?
2 meters.
They're 2 meters. Okay, so if I've got a spell that's a 10-meter cone. Okay. So 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. If I cast a spell directly toward the bats with the 10-foot cone, is it going to hit any of my comrades?
You can arrange it so that it would not. You're basically going to hit the bats and then hit the wall.
Okay. I am casting Gust of Wind.
Okay. Go ahead and hit that Gust of Wind button so I can see what that is all about. This is a swarm, and that is cone. So you are just absolutely blasting these bats against the wall, battering them. Can I get 2d6 of the damage from you, please?
It's asking what power I'm casting at.
Rank 1.
Okay, so I rolled a 2, which means I hit.
You
Is
have
that correct?
Yep, you have successfully cast as you intended.
Okay, and now I will just want to roll 2d6.
Yes, please.
Okay.
And that is 8, which is significant, but does not disperse the swarm entirely.
Unfortunately, I used all of my movement to get there, so.
No problem. Now, that did use up one of your resources, which is willpower. So you please go ahead and expend the willpower that it costs to use your Gust of Wind. And then that's going to bring us to number 10, Orla, what are you up to?
I have a question because I have
Sure.
an ability called Twins Shot, but it says it has a cost of 3. What does that cost come
Sure,
from?
3 willpowers.
Okay, so my willpower would go down to 6 or to 7 at that point.
It would go down to 7 at that point, correct.
All right, I'm just gonna take one shot with the arrows then.
It's not your willpower score. There's willpower down at the bottom. Like I have 18 willpower points.
Oh.
Oh yes,
It's
sorry.
right
Willpower is an expendable resource, like mana. So it is your fuel for your skills.
Oh, cool. Then we will give that a shot. And this is what I'm using, just so people can see. Take that down to 7.
All right, so you would be rolling once with a bane, so give yourself 1 bane and then roll, or you could expend some of the boons to offset that.
All right. Rolling. How do I make sure it's baned?
Up in the top left-hand corner. Give yourself one bane.
One.
12 is under a 14. Well hit. 6 points of damage. Those arrows are skewering bats left and right. The cloud of them is much reduced.
Do I get another shot for twin shot?
Just roll once to hit. You hit. Damage is rolled separately. Damage. D12 plus D6. What is the damage on a longbow for you?
D12. And then it has the number 6 at the end. I don't know what that means. If that's the regular shot for.
Go ahead and roll that one more time, because you would get 2 sets of damage on it. I'm going to take a look at your sheet and see if I can figure out what it's trying to do, because that seemed like an odd number. Damage should just be the D12. I don't see why you would get the D6 additional. So we'll just use the 2 D12s that you should have rolled there, and I'll figure out what the other problem is at some point in the future. So that's going to be a 9 and a 2, which are the 2 D12s. I'll figure out what the 6s are doing there later, which is 11 points, which is enough that the vampiric bats are dispersed. Many of them are now escaping out the hole or clambering their way to the south, but you have dispersed the swarm enough to take us out of initiative. Well done, team.
Well done.
You're now able to investigate a little more easily. As those statues to either side, the door can now be fully opened or closed. You can see that there are a couple of footprints on the floor. Goblinoid, you would guess. And there's a noise. Now that the bats have stopped their swooshing and silence comes back to it. To the north, behind that sort of waffle iron effect, you can hear a thud and a scrape, something metallic being dragged along flagstone or perhaps over the earthen stone that you would see on the floor here. It sounds like it's coming from very far away, but the hill's not big enough for the distance you're hearing. It sounds like it's coming down a long, long hallway, many hundreds of feet long, but you know that this hill can't be, more than a few meters across down here.
Well, shall we follow the sound?
I suppose so. Do we
Probably.
want to check out this door that's just north of us first?
Yes. Say, maybe check out the door up north first. Right here. What
Sure,
do y'all think?
feel free to start moving in the direction that you are indicating.
Uh,
Okay. So the room that you're entering here is a small room with a floor of beaten earth. There's a flickering light coming from that grid that you see in front of you, and now that you're a bit closer, you can tell that it's a portcullis, black iron or some dark metal behind it, but the gaps in the portcullis are filled completely with spider webs, cobwebs, just a gauzy curtain that's filled every little bit of it. You can see little spiders moving about and a couple of big chonky fellas moving around there as well. There's a couple of bats bound up and desiccated in there. So these spiders are no joke. To the left and right, the guards are not statues as you might have suspected from out there, but instead mummified humans in their armor. It looks as though they're well done. They've resisted the weight of hundreds of years, but a good poke with a stick might turn them into dust. Any skills being deployed as you're making your way into the room?
Are we making our way into the room, guys? I mean,
As you're entering this little vestibule.
Oh, I was about to say, because I've read The Halfling and I've read the King of the Bracelets, and I know this doesn't end well anytime you go into webs. So, like,
Yes, this is a step up from bats, clearly. But I do want to poke one of these things with a stick to see if it turns to dust. Is there a stick lying about that I could pick up and poke? I guess I got a weapon of some kind. I'll poke it with my short sword.
Sure. You give it a little bit of a poke with your short sword, and the rusted chainmail that it's wearing is nothing against your blade. You're able to just, push your way through it and kind of red dust falling down. Some of the links that were closer, to the oils may be intact, but they're coming off in pieces. They're secured to probably a post or a small stand behind them that's keeping them up, but, one good thwack, and you could certainly send this tumbling.
Can we stick a torch in the spiderweb?
You could stick a torch in the spiderweb. Are you sticking a torch in the spiderweb?
Yeah. Don't have hairspray and a lighter, so the torch into the spiderweb will do.
Torch into the spiderweb. Can you go ahead and just make me a attack roll, please? Pick one of your skills that seems similar to a torch. I would think club or anything of that nature, and give it a click there.
Staves, is that near enough?
Stave seems good.
Rolling like dirt.
So 10 is higher than 7, so it's not the dramatic conflagration that maybe you were imagining. These are damp, there's a lot of earth caught up in it, and you sort of like put it in there, it kind of melts back a little bit, and you'd have to really sort of commit. This is a big portcullis. You'd have to sort of slam your way through. You burned off like the first layer, but the individual bits inside haven't caught yet. Spiders are now scattering everywhere, sort of moving about on the ground. And as that happens, could I have one of those fateful D20s from the party?
I can do it. There you go.
A 12. One moment, please. That's
It's kind of high.
low enough that I have to double check. Nope, you're okay.
do we hear the sounds of anything bigger?
Do you hear the sounds of anything bigger? How about an alertness? Awareness. Attentiveness. Whatever their word for that thing is.
Can I do the same?
Sure. You,
The exact same.
We're very bad at this today.
you don't hear anything. There's still the squeaks of the bats that are the last couple coming out from you to the south. There's that odd thump and scrape happening off in the distance. But you don't hear, and like little spider voices going, no! But nothing big is calling your attention immediately.
All right, guys. Do you want to go see the other hallways first before we try to?
I'm going to do a spot hidden again.
Sure. Go ahead and fire up a spot hidden. Oh, that's a pretty good spot hidden. So you're able to see that, as a couple of those spider webs have been burnt away, there is a fairly sizable lock on this portcullis. Looks like, the kind with the big iron key that you put in and turn. It is currently locked, and rusted reasonably in place, but if unlocked and lifted, you might be able to get it out of the way. Let's see here. You also note that each of the guards has a long spear that seems to be in reasonably good condition. Nothing incredible about them. It's just that the spears had a leather cap on them, and the wood has not gone bad. So if you did need the long spears, those would be available to you.
I take one of those spears, just push it straight through the portcullis and like wiggle it around.
Sure. You take a spear, and you're just like lurg, lurg, lurg. And as you clear out, and it's 8 by 8 inch square that you've managed to clear out. When you draw the spear back, you can see like the webs kind of coming with it. It gets a little bit of a pull, and you got like a cotton candy bundle on the end there, full of spider eggs and little spiders. But you can now see through to the other side. I'm going to open, but you cannot pass through. Why did my light not come? There's my light. In the room beyond is a table. The table is set as if ready to receive guests, and sitting on the far side of the table is a mummified woman. She's sitting as one would for dinner. Her hands are resting on the table. You can see platters are set out. They're covered. Those platters are covered in spider webs. You can see strands moving off to either side. And pieces there. And the woman has a reasonably well done up mummified face, light crown atop her head, nice garments. The garments look as though they've weathered the ages much better than the attire to either side of you. She still looks fairly dignified and noble in her stance. And I see a boon has been donated. Thank you very much for that. We'll go ahead and add that. 4 to the party's total at the moment. And can I get from the party another of those fateful D20s?
So just slash roll.
Yep. /R space D20. Or you can hit the little dice icon at the bottom left of your taskbar, toolbar. You got it. 13. Lucky number. As you've cleared out that little space, you're able to see something, just a hint of a cape or a cloak, translucent, passing away to the west through another portcullis. You just caught it a little bit of moment. Cloth, translucent, gauzy, almost see-through, moving away to the west. And Tux, if you wish to torture the party with donations, 100 hits the insured random roll. 10 is our Banes, which lets me knock down their boons. And 25 is Ferocity, which lets the monsters do more stuff.
Did you say the cloak passed through the portcullis?
It did. It looked like it just went through the portcullis.
Okay.
You might
Not
be having
through the one we're standing at.
No, to the western side.
Okay.
But a closed one, like
Yes.
okay.
Cool.
You might be having a Scooby-Doo ghosts moment.
Have fashionista ghosts. All right.
Would a
Well,
fireball into that room do much of anything?
Certainly scorch a mummy and light up a table. Burn a lot of spiders.
No, I don't guess we need to do that.
We're going
all
to
right.
try a
Do
different
we-
direction.
Yeah. Do we want to try a different direction, or do we have a rogue that could unlock this?
Oh, I can try to unlock it.
Sure. Krisanna, a sleight of hands check and 15 minutes or so of your time would get you a good head start on that.
Maybe use a boon on this one.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same. So it's just type the one and the boon up the top, and then
You got it.
Lovely.
Hey, and
Yay.
you rolled yourself a
Hey.
dragon. With a little bit of fiddling and a few spider bites on your fingers, you're able to unlock the portcullis with a little satisfying clank.
We'll step back from it now.
Take
Take
a
the
step.
spear
To
and
go into
try
the
to like
ceiling?
wedge it open.
So it looks as though it would go up, and a little bit more clearing of spiders, and you can see where there's a device on the wall to do the turny bit so that it would lift.
We do
Shall
so?
we do that?
Yeah, I guess so. Unless anybody has objections.
Nope,
Does
I
anybody
think we
have any
gotta clear
oil or
this.
anything?
I've got flint and tinder. No oil.
All right, you grab hold of the turny bit. Can I get a fateful D20? So it's another 15 minutes have passed here as this was unlocked.
Okay.
Okay. A 10. You give a little turn on the turny bit, and it's just, it's freewheeling. It's the chain that should lift it has been rusted out.
All right, down the hallway.
Could we try just lifting it?
You could try
Yeah,
just lifting
cool.
it.
I'll lend some assistance to that. I imagine maybe if we have a couple of us doing it
Yeah.
together, it might make it easier.
I think it might be better for
Yeah.
Krisanna to step back from that and let some big people have a crack.
You got it.
I can help. I can try to help.
Sure. Let's see some muscle mass, and it sounds like we've got at least one helper, so that would give a boon of 1. And who is rolling the strength check?
Give it a roll. So a boon of 1.
A boon of 1 at least. You can spend more if you want. 9 from 16 works. It starts to make its way up. It is slow going. You are grinding off rust as it goes. You've cleared the foot mark, the 2-foot mark, and as you are doing so, you hear something approaching from the far side. This sounds like you're just ripping metal against metal, like on the way up, and you hear something coming in, pushing its way through the portcullis on the far side. You're able to make out the view of a horned figure in chain coming to meet you. One moment, please. It's a skeletal visage, big horned helm, massive plate armor, big pointy shoulder spikes, long flowing chain cloak, big honkin' mace being dragged on the floor behind him. You can see it's with some effort that he's pushed himself through the portcullis on the western side, and is now making his way across towards you. He's got an arm extended like he's trying to reach out, but he's moving a little sluggishly, as if just passing through the air in front of him is even a little bit of effort. You've managed 2, maybe 3 foot off the ground at this point. Someone could certainly duck down and squeeze in, but you'd be ducking down and squeezing in to face the not-so-friendly visage. We're going to go ahead and throw some turn order on here.
Excuse me, sir. Have you heard about the canoes of our...
You can certainly try persuasion if you'd like. Well, let's find out who goes first here. We'll pull McCander's card. McCander's in with a 6. We'll pull Aiden's card. Aiden's in with a 2. We'll pull Bastion's card. Bastion is in with a 4. Where'd you go, Bastion? There you are. We'll pull Orla's card. Orla's in with a 9.
Probably for the best.
May have to wait for that the good news speech. Krisana's card. Krisana's in with a 3. And then our white friend has a ferocity of 2. 2 cards for our white. And $25 has been donated. Was $25 our ferocity? So the white is going to get 3 cards. That's an 8, a 1, and a 10. We're going to recall all those cards. Thanks very much for that donation. Let's crank this up. We have indeed. And going on the 1 is the white. The white is going to make their way over. They are going to reach the portcullis, and they are just going to push their way through it. Their bottom half just steps through. Their top half hits the grid and moves through. You can see the spider webs moving, but do not break as he passes through. The white shifts his grip and does something. I think it's Orla who tries to say something, and the white just stares directly into your eyes as a wheezing sound is heard from his throat as he maybe goes to respond.
That sounds about right.
The victim becomes scared, suffers a fear attack, and gets Bane on their willpower roll. Can I get a willpower roll from you? And can you please check off your scared icon? 10 for 10 matches, so no additional fear effect, but you are scared. When you check off that scared effect, that means that you will automatically get a Bane on the related item. Attack number 1 down. That's going to bring us to 2. 2, we've got Aiden. Aiden, what do we got?
Well, it may be time for that fireball.
It's always time for fireball. Spell sends a fireball from your hand to focus your target. Fireball can dodge or parry as a ranged attack. Fireball inflicts 2d6 on a hit. That's fire to flammable objects, etc., etc. Alright, let's see the attempt. Fireball, that's not so great. That is a demon. A demon does bad things. Having rolled the demon, you'll be vomiting a frog the moment you tell a lie. Roll a d4 every morning to see if the effect wears off. Frog-tongued.
That's fantastic.
Aiden, anything else?
Aiden says, I meant to do that, and immediately vomits a frog.
I'm not sure if Aiden meant to do that. That's going to bring us to 3 with Krisana. Krisana, what do we got?
Uh, can I throw a dagger at it?
Sure. Since there are people in
Or
between
a
you and
knife?
it, you will take a bane on the throw.
Yep. Okay. I'll do that. Okay. Yeah.
13 is under a 14, so that will work. However, the white is going to try and dodge the throw. The white is going to try and dodge the throw. Can you not dodge throws? No, he's not. Never mind. That's not a thing that they do. 4 points of damage on the throw. It just chunks into the knight's armor, sort of oozes in, and then drops down. It doesn't seem to have done any damage. Too well armored for your knife strike. Krisanna, anything else
Okay.
for you?
I'm going to take a step further back into that corridor.
Sounds good. 4 brings us to Bastion. Bastion, since you have a long spear, I believe you can attack from where you are, or you can move up. Your choice.
Oh, nice. I will attack from where I am. And
8 is lower than a 14, so that's going to land. 4 plus 4 plus 6 is 14 points of damage. That is a sizable amount. I believe the audience managed to sort out for me what that extra d6 was, and that is going to be because they are your weapons of choice, so we'll let that one hit through. That is going to do a healthy chunk of damage, but our white has health to spare.
okay, I will stay where I am.
Sounds good. That's going to bring up to 5 to 6. 6 is McCander. McCander.
Stay still, you bag of bones. We're trying to help you go to rest. I want to attack with my battle axe.
That's a good battle axe.
Boom.
Boom, indeed. That is going to be 17. Math. The white still remains. McCander hanging out there?
Yeah, I'll stay. I guess I'll step back there, but that'll end my turn.
Sounds good. That is then going to bring up a gesture as the white raises its hands. Points at McCander, who has started to move away. McCander, as you are pointed at, you are thrown 3 meters back, crashing into Bastion, bouncing off Krisanna to land here, and will take 3 points of damage, which I believe will be absorbed by your armor. That'll bring us to 9. 9 Orla. All alone with the white all of a sudden.
All right, I would like to try something. I want to step forward and strike with my knife, but at the same time, I want my foot to step forward onto the knife that was dropped so that I can shove it back so it could get picked up again.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. 4 points of damage, though, doesn't make it through the armor of the white. Just sort of sinks in and then starts to fall again.
Is there attacks of opportunity in this game? Or can I just
We are
walk
not playing
up?
them right now if there are.
All right. I'm going to try backing up then.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll hold the line here.
All right. As you make your way away, the white sort of swings its mace down. It knocks out the bits of support that you'd been setting in under the portcullis. It goes, falls back down. It lets out a roar as its decomposed skull contorts, letting out a ghastly scream that cuts like a rusty blade through your souls. I'm going to need a fear check, so another willpower check from everybody.
Yeah, that tracks.
That is going to be Aiden, Orla, who are going to have a little bit of response to this. Aiden will hit you up first. You respond with a scream.
Ah!
As you respond, all of your friends who are clustered around you need to make another fear attack. So Bastion, Orla, Mikander, and Krisanna, as Aiden just startles you from behind.
Am I rolling with Bane just because I marked scared, or do I need to like put the Bane in the?
It should already do it for you.
Oh, good.
Okay. Bastion, that's going to be one more for you, and Orla's got one coming in as well. Orla, you enter into a fit of utter panic. You will flee the scene as fast as you can. Bastion, you are petrified with terror and unable to move. You cannot perform an action on your next turn. You'll make another willpower check on your subsequent turn to break the paralysis. Possibly helpful to you all, though. The white steps back, still growling and roaring through the closed portcullis. That'll bring us up to our next round. Mikander pulling a 3. Aiden pulling a 7. Bastion, we've got a 2. Orla, we've got an 8. Krisanna pulls the 10. Ah! Krisanna, where'd you go? Come back here. And our white friend gets a 9 and a 6 this round.
Is he still got ferocious or whatever it was from the donut?
No, Ferocious is a 1-rounder because it is a very nasty effect to have them get an extra round. But that will start us off from the lowest, which will be Bastion at a 2. I believe is paralyzed, so we'll just need to make me a will check.
All right, here we go. Okay.
All right, you shake it off. Next round, you'll be able to do stuff. Mikander with a 3. No ill effects that I'm aware of.
So the portcullis is now shut.
It is dropped back down shut.
Is it possible to get a short sword through the portcullis to take an attack at him?
You could do that. You'd have a Bane on the roll, but you could certainly slam your arm through all those spider webs and swing around wildly.
All right, you shackabones. So if I spend one of our boons It would cancel it? Is that how it works?
Correct. First one would cancel it. A second one would give you a boon, and then you could add more on if you really wanted to.
I'll use one just to cancel out the ill effect.
You got it.
Alright, short sword.
15 over a 14, that will miss.
That's it for me.
All right, that's going to bring us to number 4, number 5. Number 6 is going to be the Wraith. The Wraith is going to look at the arm of Mikander and probably do something terrible. He will look at the arm of Mikander and gesture at it once more. Mikander, you're going to take 7 points of damage as you are flung away, your arm bending back unnaturally, and thankfully your sword managing to wrench through as you are flung back, bouncing off the wall, off your friends to land over here. That'll bring us to 7 to Aiden.
Oh, it's definitely fireball time again.
Fireball time again. You got it.
You have got to be kidding me.
May not be fireball time. As you roll another demon, you are now sickly as you are drained by the attempt. Please go ahead and mark yourself down as sickly. Adding one more to the Bane set there. Aiden, anything else?
I'd feel sick too if I just coughed up a frog.
Why always order the shoop?
And I think that'll bring us to 8 for Orla.
And she's afeared, so she's just going to say nope.
And Orla nopes the heck out. That'll bring us to 9 and the White. The White probably can only see Bastion at this point. Let's see if we've got anything that's going to have a distance effect. No, you can see that its mace arcs through the air. The two mummified guardians get blasted out of the way. Anyone close to it would have had a bad day. And then it moves further back and out of sight. Krisanna.
Is anyone still frightened?
I am. Was I supposed to take another will check?
Another will check. No, only lasts one round. So I think everyone is starting to recover.
Pick my dagger up. That's it.
You got it. Dagger recovered. White has retreated. We're out of turn order. What's everybody doing?
Yeah, let's go do something else.
Yeah. Yeah,
Go
I
for this
have a good
corridor.
idea. Does somebody want to pick up this torch over here?
I got it. I'll take it.
Sure. And you should be able to click and drag the torches around.
Which direction did we hear that noise earlier?
So most of the noises that you've been hearing were coming from the west. And Mikander,
That would be my vote.
By the light of the torch, you can see the tunnel continues on. It's about 2 meters wide heading down. The stone walls here seem to be suffering under the effects of time. You can see roots have crept out between it, and mud has dripped down, and other bits there.
What can Chrisana see to the east?
That seems to be in better condition. Again, another hallway heading down, but the torchlight fails before you can see to the end of the hallway.
You mentioned earlier that there were goblinoid footprints. Can we tell which way they went?
Sure, you could go ahead and give me a bushcraft check to follow that up, and thank you for the anonymous boon donation there. You're all up to 3 boons at the moment. A 2 is a real good one. So you can see that there are goblin footprints that have run back to the east and to the west. And can I get a D20 for you as you spend a little time checking where they've headed?
Probably my turn. Oh,
Oh, I got
Oh,
it for you. I'm
even
sorry.
better.
somebody
No, not better.
somebody snuck in there early.
That's right. It's all
that
fun.
that one's a low number.
It is. I'm just causing all the problems tonight.
Is this the one roll of the game that's like golf low is better? Or?
This is one of the ones where golf low is bad. But most of the other ones, golf low is good. You find one of those goblins you've been tracking. A sad remains.
Literally looking at the feet. And
and then you just see it. Its body is severely mangled. It's been basically slammed into the wall and it's on the western side, so it's kind of mashed into the mud. It looks like it's taken 4 or 5 hits from a large spike balled effect, most likely the white.
I just pat him on the chest and go, "No, how you feel, dude? Sorry."
You come away sticky. It hasn't been dead that long. It's still a little tacky.
Is that sound still happening? Can we still hear?
How about an awareness check on that? Yeah, you can hear a little bit of sound coming from the west. The clanking and thumping noise has gone away now, but you're still hearing something. It's not the bats. It's not. Yeah, it's just a noise over there. It's kind of a little rustle of wind, maybe movement, cloth. Hard to tell. Still a little ways down the hall.
Should I sneak ahead a bit and see if I can see anything? Everyone's happy with that. I'll do that.
Sure. Little sneaky roll.
You have a torch?
Do I have the torch at the moment? I think I do at the moment, yeah. I should probably hand that off to somebody. Well, I can't see in the dark, can I?
No,
there is no dark vision.
No.
You can still hear in the dark and you can feel in the dark.
Yeah, okay, screw it. I'll do that. Hand the torch back to somebody and then just slowly creep forward with a hand along the wall and see what I can hear.
Sure. That's a pretty good sneaking. And go ahead and move yourself about as far into the darkness as you would like to be. Straight line east or west. All right. So you get to about that spot, you've kind of made your way. There's still a wall to the north, and you've just hit the edge where it opens up to a northern passage of some sort. Checking the western wall and the southern wall, you can see it kind of bends into a corner there. And you can hear from the other room a little... Somebody's hyperventilating or in labor.
I will make my way back and let the others know what I've just heard.
In labor? You think that's a possibility?
It's probable. Probable.
Oh. Well, I
Not
guess
an
we
expert,
should
but it's
probably
exactly
try to
what it
help.
sounded like. Yeah. On the go Lamar's class. Let's go.
It's important.
All right, let's go.
All right, you bring your torch with you?
Oh
I
yeah,
can't.
Okay.
I can't pick it up apparently.
Oh, did I not give
yeah. I
control to anyone?
can.
Hang on
I
here.
can also pick it up.
How
I can.
about now?
Hey.
All right, sorry about that. So as you bring your torches down and the light kind of spills into the hallway, that sort of hyperventilation Lamaze breathing cuts out, and you don't hear anything from that room anymore, aside from the slow drip of water and the occasional little insect buzz. What you see is a dark and damp chamber. Dug-out burial niches cover the walls from floor to ceiling. Broken skeletons, molded rag, and shards of crushed pottery can be seen all over the place. The crypt has obviously been visited by grave robbers. Skeletons have been dragged onto the floor. Jars have been crushed. Clothes have been slashed.
Is there someone still alive in here?
You hear no response.
We
should,
know you're in there.
Should we
And you
sneak
bait.
ahead
You are in
and
labor.
scope
It's better
out?
to keep breathing, honey.
I missed the second half of that one. What was the other? Any skills being deployed?
Just listening like a mofo, basically.
Sure. I think an awareness or a spot hidden might help you out there.
Nope.
I think for McCander, maybe a persuasion, trying to get a like whoever's in there to respond.
Sure. Go ahead. Give me a persuasion there. You got it. And can someone go ahead and give me a fateful d20?
Oof. Who's up now?
I could do
I
one.
think Alex this time, yeah.
15.
Nice.
All right. So as you are exploring the area, you can go ahead and step around the corner so we can see a little bit more of that room there. There is indeed someone crammed into one of the burial niches. And as you kind of talk them down, you can see it is a goblinoid figure hiding behind a skeleton that they must have pulled in after themselves. And they're sort of like looking out at you, McCander, as you're sort of like saying, it'll be okay. And he's like, he takes like one big breath, like he's been holding it the whole time. He's like, "You're not dead."
Well, not yet, but looks like you ran afoul of that bone fellow in the other room.
We should go.
You look like you want to go. Why are you down here?
I've gone a few times in here already. He keeps coming by.
I saw he's making a circuit.
Is it safe? He has a rope.
Yes.
Would y'all mind just stepping a little bit to the sides? I'll be past you and gone. Never had to. I wasn't here. Didn't touch nothing.
Uh,
How about I escort you back to the rope, and that way I can make sure you get out safely.
Sure.
Okay. gonna try to do that to make sure he doesn't take the fucking rope.
But if he goes up the rope, I mean, are we all going up the rope with him?
No.
Why don't we just knock him out and we'll take him on our way out of here?
And he's like, just getting ready to walk past you. He's like, what? No!
I'm not talking about killing you. Just
Just with
calm
the
down.
back of the bow.
That's caused brain damage, swelling, hemorrhaging. Maybe never wake up. This is concussions. Are you gonna clog?
What are we doing?
I don't know.
I mean, he could be our guide.
You want to be a
essentially.
guide?
Sure. I'll lead you right out of here.
I mean, the other way. Otherwise, my friend here is gonna definitely try to knock you out.
We've got to keep going that way. The white's coming around behind. So we've got to keep going that way, buddy.
What?
Did someone
Yeah,
say
yeah.
they needed a fireball?
No! Who said that? Nobody said that. No one has ever said that. And as you're sort of threatening, calming, requesting aid, could I get from somebody a persuasion to match those things that you're attempting to do?
I don't even know what I'm doing anymore.
Can we get burns on it because we're all having a crack?
You can all pile in on this one. So is it
Yes.
all
Yeah.
how many are you? So I heard threats, I heard fireball, I heard the good cop and the bad cop. So whoever's leading the persuasion can go ahead and give themselves 4 boons on that.
We got a
Oh,
12.
Yeah, that's all you.
I got a
No.
5. Not me.
Yeah,
Oops.
I
I'm
got
sorry. I didn't
four.
put the
Throw
boons in
your
there.
boons on there first.
Yeah, let me try that again.
There you go.
That's better. Okay. So you get him calmed down, confused, scared of you, all these things at once. So he's just kind of like having a little meltdown. Right? He's like, just tell me what you want to do. What you don't hit me. So he's having a little bit of a breakdown there. You get out of him. His name is Grub. He was ordered to come here to loot the barrow now that it's been opened. Maladuke, his boss, is an orc, and sent the goblins here, and it just all went wrong, and the white attacked and wiped out all his friends. His friends upstairs got scared and ran away, and they took the rope with them. So he's been stuck down here hiding from the white for the whole day. And I just, please, can we go?
Look, how many graves have you robbed in your lifetime? You never planned for this? You never thought that this might happen?
Not this. Look, and he pulls out a set of keys, and he shows them to you, and there's 3 keys, and one of them is just completely broken off. He's like, look at this, we even got the keys, and the keys didn't work. That one broke off in that lock. That one unlocked the portcullis, but couldn't move the freaking thing. This one, I'm not going over there. It's no.
What would it be to snatch those keys out of his hand?
I think a stern look from McCander, and then just blatant robbery. So McCander, you have a trio of keys. One's been identified as having broken off in the lock in this room. One was identified as to opening the portcullis that you had unlocked and lifted, but is a little bit grindy. And the other one goes to the far side, which is yet to be explored. Did he plan for this sort of thing? I mean, they're just smash a few skeletons. I've never had a big net and armor and mace and what? No.
All right. Well, if you lend a hand with us, you might get some more experience with this stronger undead for the next time you go robbing. You'll be better prepared. So what do you say?
I said, get me out of here, man.
Yeah, you'll be able to come. You'll get out of here when we get out of here.
You're better off sticking with a group.
All right.
We'll write you a letter of recommendation if you do well.
And so Grub the Goblin is sort of like hunkered down, like sticking to the wall, trying to hide behind anyone possible, but he's not willing to try and run with so many weapons around and threats of fireball from a man who produces toads from his mouth. Um, and so, could I have a fateful D20 as we've made a bit of noise and negotiated with our goblin friend?
I can give it a go again.
All right.
A
Oh,
1!
It's about to happen.
So, as Grub is like, just, okay, I'll do whatever you need, whatever you want. And then her, hey guys! And he looks down the way, and Aiden, behind you, a half dozen or so goblins have just come around the corner and are looking down in your direction.
oh, good.
And one moment here. Oh, why can't I see you, goblin friend? Are you outside of the torchlight? There we go. And I may have just misrearranged you there, so please go ahead and put yourselves where you are. Half dozen goblins are kind of crowding the hallway there, looking down in your direction. And as they do, you can hear the creak of bowstrings. And we're going to hop into initiative as our goblin friends, say hi. McCander is going to draw a 4. Eden comes up with a 1, which may be a very good thing. Bastion coming in with a 5. Seven going to Orla. 10 going to Krisanna. And that's going to put our goblins on an 8. Eden coming up first. Small squad of goblins has made their way around the corner. You can see they are done up in big frumpy clothes, look like designed to shield them from the light. Staring at you. Bo's coming back. What you doing?
Well, I mean, I really want to throw a fireball at them, but I don't know if they're friends of our friend. But they are threatening to shoot me.
They are threatening to shoot you.
So, fireball it is. And that's a failure.
Your fireballs are slightly cursed, it seems. Perhaps next time throw some of those boons on there. But the 15 over 14 will fail. The goblins duck back out of the way, evading your fireball. Aiden, any movement for you?
Oh, yes, yes. I'm going to be pushing my way down this hallway.
Makes sense. As you shove down the hallway, let's go ahead and see who's going next. I think that was McCander with a 4.
What's like going on with our goblin friend here? Is he aware of what's happening?
He spotted the goblins coming, and is doing his damnedest to look innocent right now. Like, you look down at him, he just gives you big puppy dog goblin eyes up and just like,
Listen here, You pipsqueak, you're with us now. Don't try any fighty business. And then I'm gonna move to the front here. So when it says
You will be
movement,
our friend or else.
you're gonna be our friend or else. Yeah, that's right. When it says movement 8, does that mean 8 meters or is that 8 squares?
I think it's 8 meters.
Okay, that's what would make sense. But
Yep.
So I will stop there and is there such thing as like a double, like an action to move again?
You can dash, yes.
You can dash. Okay. I think I will do that just to kind of get in their face.
You got it. You get up in their face. There's a half dozen goblins that are now looking at their bows like, this is not where bows are supposed to be shot from. That's going to bring us to number 5, Bastion. Bastion, what do you got?
All right. I am. I'm gonna move. Also use my dash. I only have a movement speed of 2, and move right here. I suspect I can't really chuck a spear at
Wait, you can't have a
this
movement speed of
goblin.
just 2.
Yeah. Under movement, it says 2. Is that not right?
That seems way too low.
Next to your kin at the top.
I think
What's
it's
that?
in the sheet on the book. It's a 9.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and move a bit more
Or
than
no,
that.
the sheet on the book says 14.
Yeah.
So that seems more right.
Yeah, that seems way better.
What did you want me to do?
You can go up to 14.
Okay.
I think there was a typo, or I might have pushed a button. Apologies there.
No, no worries. No worries. So I'll move all the way up here
Okay.
on the other side, and they have their bows drawn, right? So
Correct.
clearly trying to. All right. I'm gonna hit that one that's in front of Mikander with my long spear.
Sounds good. And that one is representing the cluster of 6 of them that are occupying basically that open area.
Oh,
Uh,
actually,
and a 11 is good for 14, does 10 points of damage, and that is an impaled goblin. He falls. What a world! What a world! What a world! Bastion, anything else for you?
fresh meat. That's it.
Alrighty. That is going to bring us to 6 to 7 to Orla. Orla.
All right. Orla's going to move forward as well, so she can actually see. She's going to bring the kick the torch forward, so maybe there's a little more light.
Sure.
And use her bow because she likes her bow.
That is a dragon. Dragons are good, so you can choose to either roll your damage again, so roll another d12, or take another attack for free.
I'll do another damage.
Okay, go ahead and give me another d12. One more makes 8. 8. Does not kill a goblin. 1 down, 1 heavily wounded, 4 remaining. That's going to bring up our goblins. Goblins, 5 of them remaining. They are going to loose the arrows they have held. That is going to give them a bane on their rolls. 3 to Bastion, 2 to Mikander. Bastion, Bastion, Bastion. That is an 8. That is a 13. That is a 19. The 8 will hit. And Mikander. That is an 18, and that is a 5. So 1 hit to Mikander, 1 hit to Bastion. Bastion, 6 points of damage, less your armor. Mikander, your armor soaks it all. That is again going to bring up Krisanna. Krisanna, what are you up to back there?
I don't think my stubby little legs are going to get me far, so she's probably just going to pull the dagger and basically wave it menacingly. And is it Grub? Is that his name? In Grub's face, and just
Yeah.
go, "You're staying here, buddy," and that's the turn.
You got it.
We only let one goblin at our party at a time.
Fair
Well,
enough.
he also can't see what's happening down there at the moment, so we'll just keep him there.
Just hang them all back there. That is then going to bring up our initiative order again. We'll go Mikander. Is going to pull a 2. We're going to go Aiden pulls up a 3. We're going to go Bastion, who pulls a 9. We're going to go Orla, who pulls the 10. Krisanna pulls the 5. And our goblins are going on a 7. And that's going to start off with a 1, 2, 3, 3, 8. No, sorry, 2 Mikander. Mikander.
Battle axe.
Battle axe. That is a dead goblin.
Battle grub. He's chosen the winning side. That's my turn.
You got it. That's going to be 3 Aiden. Aiden.
I'm going to move out here where I can see.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they're definitely within 30 meters. So let's take a boon.
Sure.
Yeah.
Boon deployed.
Why didn't it roll?
Dun dun dun.
Game is like, no, thou shalt not have fireball.
Yeah, no fireballs for you this round.
Oh, because it's want me to tell it what power. Okay.
Oh, there we go. Hey, that's a better fireball. All right. Goblins would prefer not to catch fire.
So now, how do I roll the damage?
Just go ahead and give me 2d6s. So roll 2d6. 8 points of damage. Is going to scorch a lot of goblins. Wait. Target 1 goblin at a time. Excuse me. This is more firebolt than fireball.
Yeah.
So we are down 1 more goblin. And the rest of them look like, maybe retreat. But before then, Krisanna.
Just the same deal. Basically,
Okay.
just going to keep menacing Grub.
Just
Yep.
keep menacing Grub. That's going to bring the goblins. The goblins are going to try and get the heck out of Dodge. So they break and run, heading for the dangling rope. They're at the bottom of the rope. A couple of them have started to clamber their way up using their actions to try and escape, leaving 3 dying on the ground behind them. But that's going to then bring us to Bastion. Bastion, are you letting them go?
Oh man, how many
Don't
have
let them
broken
take
away?
the rope.
There are currently
Yeah, that's
3. There are 3 goblins starting to work their way up the rope.
all right. I mean, I can't let them take the rope. They're stuck down here. Otherwise, I'm gonna go ahead and move and chase them.
Mhm.
I am going to, if you'll allow me, kind of make a pit stop, pick up a torch before I go down. If that
Yeah, you
something I
have
can do.
14. You have 14 movements, so you got 7 squares. So you've got there, there. Yeah, you can just
So
make
I'm
it.
gonna. All right, cool. So torch, perfect. And how far are they from me at this point?
So you would stop maybe like 1 step back from where you are, and then they would be 2 meters in front of you, and they're basically just like starting up the rope. Like they don't have
Can
a whole lot of upper
I,
body strength, so they're just like on the rope looking at
I
you.
use my long spear to have at it.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see what we get.
Yeah, Bastion, you
Alright,
just like
nice.
the first one down.
Sweet.
It's pinata.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, church ballot. Just swing the.
That's what I was
Just
thinking.
wildly swinging, just baseball bat at this point. Just, oh man.
All right, you got it. 1 down, 2 still hanging on to the rope, trying to make their way up. That's going to be Orla though. Orla on a 10. What do we got?
She's gonna roll movement for days. She's gonna roll up, draw her bow, and with like the last one up there, she's gonna be like, "Get down, or I will shoot you."
Go ahead for a
Stop.
persuasion.
This was a dumb idea. Damn.
It fails, probably because you're like, you're gonna shoot me anyway, and he's trying to climb. That was
Well, then I
10.
shoot, because that's
No, persuasion was
that's
your
not my-
action.
How?
You can shoot him next round if you want to.
Okay.
Let's see here. What do we got? Not the torch. We got to reset Bastion. And so we've got 2 goblins trying to get up. We're going to pull their initiative first to see if the rest of the initiatives matter. What am I clicking that's not? Oh, the torch. Excuse me, having a little bit of a maintenance issue there. So, goblins are actually going on a 1. So goblins are going to try and get away. So nobody else is going to actually matter because you're all going after the goblins. But that means that does bring up our opportunity attack. So Bastion, we've got 2 goblins trying to get up out of the way. You can take a pot shot at one of them before they leave your reach, if you would like.
Yeah, I will. I'll go for the one. I guess that's ahead.
Okay.
Of the other, if that makes sense.
Knocking him down.
Long spear.
Oh, and you roll a dragon.
Yeah.
So 10 drops
Nice.
the one in front, and you may now make another attack because you rolled your dragon.
Okay.
That's what we needed.
And nope.
But an 18 will
Nope.
not do it. There's still one on the rope.
Crap.
Uh,
He got
he
too
He
excited,
might
guys.
die of fear, though. Like,
Yeah.
He
He has to be scared.
yeah. It's like you lit a fire underneath him. How fast he's trying to get up that rope. He's
No,
up at the
the
top of the
other
rope.
way.
He's up at the top of the rope now. Everybody's got one round as he's trying to get clear. You get a shot at his tuchus. Orla, McCander are the only ones who could probably get into range at this point. Bastion, you've used up your reaction, or your action is a reaction. Orla McCander, can you do anything about a 10-meter high goblin?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I can.
you can
I'm
persuade him.
You persuade him. Come back.
Join our team.
Gave him a shot, man. That's same. We have a boon I can use.
Yeah.
There are 2 boons. Yep.
Alright, I'm gonna use it.
Boon deployed. And you crit it. So go ahead and give me one more damage roll, but you don't really need it. As you skewer this goblin, and he comes back down again.
He just lands at my feet and I'm like, I told you.
I have regrets.
Back in the
and
other one, I'm just asking Grub if he lives around here or how long you been grave robbing. You know.
so Grub's just like wide-eyed staring. He's like, up in the mountains, we came down. We're supposed to do just a little bit of looting. That was the plan.
Just continue making small talk with him while I wait for the others.
Can we loot the goblins?
They have some fairly rough short bows on them, a couple of spears. You could get a couple of coins for turning them in, but not the treasure that you're hoping for.
I'll just pick up some arrows.
Yeah, absolutely pick up some arrows.
All right, Grub.
Onward.
Yeah,
It wasn't pretty.
no,
I hope. Do you have any friends or family among that group?
probably.
Did you like them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you like to join up?
No, I just want to go home.
Okay.
I got a bedroom all to myself now. House all to myself. Most of the
I
village
like
all to
that.
myself.
Looking on the bright side of things, Grub.
You see what happens when people touch my rope without permission.
Yeah.
It sounds like he came out ahead.
Save on groceries going forward, the whole lot.
Yes. This is going to be
Yeah.
very complicated estate tax. Did you happen to notice in what order they died? It's going to really affect what I have to do.
We tag them for you, so you
We'll short all this out in due time, but you said one of these keys could help us down the hall, yes? This one in here is broken?
Yeah, there's probably another door down there, but they're useless, man. There's break or the gate doesn't go up. I don't know, man. What? That was Steve.
I feel kind of bad, guys. Maybe we should just let him go.
I'm gonna tie the rope up so it's just out of reach.
But now if you die, what am I gonna do? Maybe I could just make a pile of my cousins and climb up.
Okay, let's go open this other door.
Yeah, this is getting rough.
Yeah.
Onward.
And so the party makes their way down to another area. As they do so, could I get one of those fateful D20s?
I'll do it.
Ooh, a 2.
Oh, great. Never mind.
Ugh. What were we
More
supposed to be doing
goblins.
down here anyway?
But this is reverse, right? Like this is the
Nope.
lower you get, the better it is, right?
Yeah,
No,
except
not
for
on this
these.
one.
Except for these.
Well, the more entertaining, for sure.
Yeah, you got things going on.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
2, if you happen to remember, was massacred goblins. They're just all over the place now. You're just like, there's one, and there's one, and there's another one. No problem. Grub's like, oh, man, this is getting worse. But as you make your way down the hall, it reveals a dark chamber with a packed dirt floor. 7 simple sarcophagi of stone are lined up along the walls. Several of them are open, and 2 skeletons have been thrown on the ground. And one moment as we get the map. Ah! Roll 20. Why'd you just restart? Excuse me, my roll 20 needed a quick break. Come on down here, Torch. And Mikander, as you make your way down there, you can see that the chamber bends around to another hallway in the northwest. Skeletons scattered about on the ground have been pulled from the sarcophagi. Grub says, that wasn't me. That was the other one.
The other one.
Yeah, that was him. And he points over to where one of the dead goblins is smashed up against the wall.
Ah.
Are the sarcophagi in this room all shut? Are they open?
3 of the 7 have been opened and plundered. 4 of them remain closed.
Do we want to, I don't know, maybe check them out?
Do the ones that are open, do they have bodies in them still, or remains?
The ones that are opened had skeletons. The skeletons look like they were just kind of pulled out and unceremoniously dumped on the floor in a heap.
Grub, anybody get any curses when they started smashing up the place?
What do you consider a 7-foot tall dude with a big miss? I call that a curse.
Yeah, duly noted. All right, I would advise against opening up any of these sarcophagi. But if anybody wants to, I won't stop you.
I want to know what this key is for, so. A little further in.
Yes.
And sorry, just we were sent here to clear the place out, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to, deal with the big guy at some point anyway if we're gonna finish our job.
And also to remove any loot. So you do have the blessing to reclaim any treasure that's moldering away down here.
Oh shit! Everything's changed. Loot up. Open these things up. It's fine.
I have a feeling-
Perhaps slightly more respectfully than the goblins had been doing. But anything down here is considered fair game.
I have a feeling
Alright.
that we'll either be able to loot up on the way out, or
I kind of agree. We just
Yeah, or we won't be
That's
going
our
out.
way out.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Wait,
Alright.
so I'm assuming since this bends backwards, that this goes back to that chamber where Mrs. Longhorns was, and our ghosty goblin. friend or a ghosty friend. And now that we know how he attacks and moves, do we have any ideas on what we could do strategically to put him to rest?
Well, I mean, he's got that like fear effect, so I guess if we've got ranged people that can shoot like from the hall and then duck back around the corner, in theory they can't get feared. So I was doing okay against those fear things, so I'm not too worried. I'm not super worried about me. If we've got the key, then he won't be able to trap us in the way that he did.
All right, Orla's going to post up right here.
I'm just going to
Oh,
move Chrisana in so I can see the room.
I would just like to point out that I am running low on willpower.
Sure. So let's talk about things you can do to regain some willpower. So during your action as a turn, you can take what's called a round rest, which gets you a d6 of willpower. Or you could spend 15 minutes taking the equivalent of a short rest to get back a little bit more willpower. Apologize, I hadn't noticed you'd spun yourself low on that one yet. So if you want to spend a little bit of time resting, you could recover some of that willpower. It would just cause a d20 to be rolled, and I'm sure nothing bad will happen.
Would that also get Mikander and Bastion some health back?
We could recover some health? Sure.
Makes sense to do then. Post up for a minute before we poke the white, or not?
I'm only 12 out of 16, so I'm like not like I wouldn't say do it for me, but if like it made sense for other people, like I'd benefit from it.
Yeah, I've not taken any damage, so all I have are 3 will points down. So
Sure. So if you don't need to rest, you
for the
don't have
rest
to.
that gets the willpower, does that do the health as well? Is it the same rest, or is it a different length?
So stretch rest. During a stretch rest, you heal a d6 of hit points, or 2d6 if someone else spends the time healing you. You also recover a d6 of willpower, and heal a condition of your choice, which is one of those scared options that are up at the top there. So it sounds like a little bit of a short rest is happening. For those that are healing, for those that are recovering hit points, does anyone need the 2d6 for healing?
Yeah, I mean I'd take some healing.
Okay, you got
I
it.
mean, I don't. Yeah, I don't need 2d6, but I could use some HP back.
Okay. So does anyone want to do the healing that does not need a rest?
what happens
So
if
does,
we fail a healing?
You can't make it worse. You can only make it better.
Okay.
So I think, is that Orla volunteering to heal someone?
That means I won't get my will points back.
You would not get will points back if you were attempting to heal someone else.
Yeah,
I can do it.
Okay.
I can do it. I've only used 3 will points and I've got 12 left.
Sure. So
I can have a go.
Krisana, go ahead and give us a healing roll.
May not go well, but I can try it. If it doesn't hurt, then I will.
Yeah, it won't hurt.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, it actually worked. And we'll apply this to everybody. So if you are taking the rest, please roll 2d6 hit points and recover that. And roll 1d6 for willpower points and recover that. And then someone roll me a fateful d20.
I can grab up and get the 20.
All right, d20 incoming.
I did roll it. I got a 7 there.
7 on our d20. There we are. That's low, but is it low enough? 7+, nothing happens. It's an uneventful rest time. You make yourselves comfy. Grub looks terrified, kind of crawls into one of the sarcophagi, pulls the lid over, so he's just looking out at you. And then what?
We got a big fella to
Ish.
deal with, right?
Ish. Does anyone want to go in there with me?
I'll go in behind you.
And any
I'll
skills
grab
being
this
deployed as you
torch.
make your way down the hallway?
I'm gonna try to go sneakily if I can, just to avoid.
Sure, go ahead and give me a stealth.
I'll do the same.
Okay.
Sure.
And if you
Go.
like, I can try to do the unlocking of the door because I've also got sleight of hand. It might keep it quieter.
Ooh.
Sure. So go ahead and give me the sleight of hand on that one.
Do we want to have me not go down there while you do that? Because I will not succeed a sneak check.
There will
I'll
be
go down, I'll try
noise.
to unlock it, and then I'll come back and let you know.
Sure.
That makes sense.
So Krisana, go ahead and give me a awareness roll. And that might be why you failed. So could I get an awareness roll as well? A 4. So the reason that you might be jangling a little bit is you have noticed that there is a pit trap in front of this door. Can I get an evade roll from you, please? You would like to
Yes.
succeed on this.
Yes, I would. No, I won't use the last boon.
Okay. You do succeed, but still 5 points of damage lessened by your armor as you step through the trap door and get a number of sharp wooden stakes at the bottom of your feet.
Okay. So that's already listened?
5 was cut in half by the evade, and then whatever your armor is, take off of that.
Okay, so I'd take 1 off.
Yep. So 4 total for you.
Thank you.
And then your sleight of hand was an 18. Put the key in. You slowly turn the key, and it shears right off, just like the one on the other door.
Bollocks.
Maybe you were putting it in there, the trap gave way, and you just kind of down and snapped it.
Can I fish it out so that I can try to lockpick it?
You can. It'll take you a little bit more time. Are you spending the 15 minutes or so it'll take to fish it out, get a grip on it, maybe with a little pliers or some leverage, and then get the twist going?
Might come back and ask the rest of the group if that's what they want me to do, because I don't want to do that and risk it without running it past everyone first.
Sure. Krisana comes sneaking back.
Well, snap the key. So I can try to get it out, but it's going to take a little bit. What do you reckon?
Better than one of us trying to lift that door.
Yeah, I think
All
it
right.
could be worth it.
All right. Then we'll go back and try that then.
You settle down to take a work. It's going to take a little bit of time, which means I get another d20 from you, please.
Someone else rolling it, or is it me again?
And a boon
I
has
can
been
do it.
donated. Thank you, McCander.
I can roll it, so it takes. Oh, okay, got it.
D20 is a 1. The good news is the goblins that would have joined you are already laid out dead. No harm, no foul.
Yay! Cry.
Nice.
Grub's just sitting back there, like slowly recounting the tales of all of his family and friends. But Eventually, time passes, and you are able to open the door. You can see into the room beyond. It is been a long time since this place was dealt with. Spider webs drape everything. Sitting at the table, a lady's mummified corpse. Small room with an oak table in the middle and burning torches on the wall. A mummified woman in gilded chainmail is sitting at the far end of the table. An iron-fitted oak door behind the mummy bears the ancient symbol in glittering silver. On the table, it looks like it's been fully laid out for a meal. The platters are covered. Glasses are set out. At the lady's place setting, a little bit of an unusual thing. It goes the dinner forks and spoon, and then the salad, and then the soup spoon, and then a crazy big mace. Excuse me, warhammer.
During the time that Crisana was doing the 15 minutes of trying to get the door open, could I have attempted to recover some more willpower?
Only one short rest per set, but you could also use your round rest, which would give you another d6. So you can get one more d6 worth of willpower out of that.
Wow, I roll horrible.
Rough rolls this evening.
And can someone try to get that warhammer away from that mummy? Because I don't want to.
I'll do it. I'll go up. Go with this warhammer.
Sure, Bastion, as you move up and your hand starts to reach toward it, the mummified woman's claw-like hand shifts slightly to rest upon the haft, and a voice begins emanating from within. She's speaking. It sounds like a language, but it's not one that is immediately apparent to you. Can I get a Myths and Legends check from you, please?
All right. Not great. Nope.
You can't pick out what she's saying. It sounds polite, maybe even a little flowery, but you just, whatever it is she's saying, you're not catching it.
I get the sense that I take this hammer that she's, I face resistance. Like I just take it.
Her hand is now atop it, and she has moved and started speaking. You could try and grab for it.
Yeah, I mean, if I don't see her firmly grasping this, I would just take it.
Sure.
I think I would probably move in also, maybe to lend an assist if I'm seeing that she's moving and everything.
Yep. So Bastion, go ahead and give me a sleight of hand, if you would.
That's not great. Okay.
You're trying to quickly grab a warhammer out from somebody's hand. So.
Well, let's find out. And then, am I getting an assist? Was that what I?
Yeah, I would.
Know.
If it looks like she's holding on to it, I'd help you to try to pry it from her.
Okay. So with a boon.
So, all right. Let's say nope.
A 14, no. So you go to move it, but there's more resistance there than you would expect. And along with that, a ghostly image raises from the body and turns to face you. You can see that now, with more full featured, it is a reasonably handsome woman. She is adorned in noble features. She looks, into middle age at this point. And as she turns towards you and sort of takes in that you're touching the warhammer, the face just sort of hollows out. The eyes sink in, the mouth opens too much, the cheeks sink in, the whole thing stretches, and her face becomes a death's mask as she moves aggressively towards you. We're going to go ahead and pull some initiative cards here.
All
That's
right.
going to be a Mikander with a 6, followed by an Aiden with a 3, followed by a, come on, Bastion with a 4, followed by a Orla with a 5, followed by a Krisana with a 10, and the lady is going to have 2. Hers are going to be a 7 and a 2, so she will actually lead us off here. 2 and 7. Candor 6. Bastion 3. Krisana pulled the 5. Sorry, Bastion, you were a 4. Gave you the wrong one.
Yeah, I think I got the 10, didn't I?
Yup. And then the 5. All right, cool. But it is the lady who's going to lead us off. Haven't quite figured out how to make these card draws go smoothly yet, but we'll get it someday. And the lady is going to do something. It is a scream that she emits. Krisana, Bastion, and Mikander, I'm going to need a fear check, which is a will roll from you each. Krisana, no problem. Bastion, no problem. Mikander, no problem. You're in it for the loot. You're not going to be scared off that easily. And so that'll bring us to 3, which is Aiden. Aiden, what do we got?
Well, she definitely looks like she needs a fireball.
I feel
But I
like you've
do
said that
have a
about many
question.
people.
I do have a question though. I have something that's called adaptive in my spell list.
Okay.
What is it?
Click on it real quick. I think that allows you to substitute a skill for skill.
Okay.
Yes.
And here we go with the fireball.
Take a boon. Take a boon.
I heard the take a boon chant. Did you want to take the boon?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and give me one more roll on that fireball.
Roll.
Hey, this one lands. Can I get 2d6s, please? That'll be 8 points of fiery damage, and it does light the ghostly figure up.
Yay.
Well hit. That'll bring us to 4, which is Bastion. Bastion standing close to the ghost. What are you up to?
All right. I just think it makes sense to do long spear, so I'm gonna do that.
Sure. Long spear attempt.
Yep.
I'm watching this closely to see if it has any impact.
It passes right through her. No
Yeah.
damage dealt.
Oh, all right. I was just checking.
Yeah, someone had to test
Um,
it, so
All right. Well, I'm gonna move. Say I'm gonna move around. Oh, around this side table.
You got it. You skirt your
And
way
that's it.
around the table. Lots of cobwebs clinging to you as you move. That's going to bring us to number 5, Orla. Orla.
So we established that physical stuff is just going to pass through her.
Physical stuff has passed through her so far.
I'm going to grab a torch
Torch grabbed.
and run in and make a melee.
You got it. Go ahead and give me something torch-like. Staves, clubs, something like a stick.
How do I do that if only all I've got is a longbow and a knife?
You should still have the skills going down the left-hand side. Or right-hand side.
Right-hand side. There we go. Okay. Do treat it like that. Nope.
Will miss.
Okay.
That is Orla was 5. That's going to be 6. Mikander. Mikander.
He's got the warhammer in hand.
Warhammer is still under the hand of her mummified corpse. She has a ghostly-looking warhammer.
I'd like to try to take the warhammer.
Sure, it'll be a sleight of hand check.
I'm going to use a boon on this.
Okay. Boon deployed, down to
Oops.
0 at the moment.
Shit. Okay, so
give
I
me
always
one more.
forget to click the thing.
Yep, give me one more.
That didn't matter.
Pair of 14s. Can't get it loose. You kind of pull it up and it snaps back down. That is our 6, and that is the lady again at 7. The lady can't do 2 in a row. Let's see here. I'm going to say this is probably Orla. Orla, since you were waving the torch, the lady just looks towards you and she stretches out her arms as if to welcome you with an embrace. But as she pulls you close, you are smothered by her unliving essence.
God, you remind me of my mother.
You have already had your action, so there is no dodge available. So that is 3, 4, 5, 6 points of damage as you are pulled in and you are dazed. A boon has been redeemed. Thank you, Alex.
Okay, so hold on. It's damage minus the 1 leather armor. Is that what it is?
Correct. Yep. So down to
And
5
how much-
for you. But then also check off your dazed checkbox.
Got it.
And that'll bring us to, that was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Krisanna. Wait, did I miss Mikander? No, Mikander.
No,
Yeah,
I tried to take
you
the
tried
hammer.
to grab it. Yeah. Krisanna.
Am I able to make it to there?
I think you've got a movement of
3,
8.
4, 5, 6.
So you
I've
could.
got 12.
Oh, 12. Yeah, then you can make it there. Right up over
Okay.
the table, just like all the polite kids.
I will try to cut the hand off the mummified, the one that's trying to stop
Oh,
the hammer
sure.
from getting picked up. I'll try to sever that hand.
Knife attack. Or whatever chopping instrument you have.
Yeah, it's just.
The
Nope.
gilded chainmail she has seems to reject it. The dagger just doesn't bite in.
Okay.
That is going to bring us to the top of our turn order. And let's go ahead and click some buttons. And we'll go Mikander, Aiden.
Did we leave Grub behind?
He is currently hiding in the sarcophagi unless you have dragged him out. Are you dragging him out?
A whole extra level of cruelty to him. Murdered all your friends, and now you're coming into this fight with us.
I mean, sometimes.
This feels like a war crime at some point.
I'm just going to kind of keep an eye when I'm not physically doing something to make sure he's not trying to escape.
Yes, you can definitely do that. He is hidden enough that it would make some noise for him moving the sarcophagi lid off. So you should be okay there. And then 1, 2 for our friend, 5 and an 8. All right. We've got Mikander at 2. We've got Aiden at 4. We've got Bastion at 10. We've got Orla at 1, and we've got Krisanna at 6. All good. Orla, you are first to go.
Am I still in her embrace? Is that an ongoing condition?
No, you are able to wrestle free of it.
Okay. I'm not looking to hit. I am just literally looking to set her corpse on fire.
Set the corpse on fire. Okay. We'll still use a attack roll just to say how well it is done. But no matter what, you will be putting the torch under the body. It's just how well you gather the clothes to make it go hot.
Can I use anything other than clubs?
What do you got that you want to try?
Can I like jam it like as if it was a dagger?
Sure.
Okay. That's fucking terrible.
You just like jam it like it's a dagger, and apparently she was still juicy enough that she puts out your torch. Because I can't think of anything else. It's a really good mummification.
Aren't you so happy you have young teeth?
So we're down to 1 torch at the moment. I'll find that torch and put that one out. And that's going to bring us to 2, which is Mikander. Mikander.
I think this chopping the hand off idea is pretty good. Hey, I got my battle axe. I'm gonna try that.
All right. Let's see a battle axe attack. 6 for 14. You have severed the hand. Warhammer lays on the table.
Yeah. Am I able to pick it up or retrieve it, or?
Yep. Free action. You now have a Warhammer in hand. Are you battle axe and shield?
Yeah.
Then you would have to drop your battle axe to pick up the Warhammer. You're out of hands.
Yeah, I'd be fine leaving my battle axe like on the table there and just switching out that way.
Yeah, so you chunk it down to the table edge, grab up the Warhammer. You now have a Warhammer. That's going to bring us to 3, 4, 4. Aiden. Nope, still muted.
She's still on fire?
She is not on fire. The torch that was embedded into the corpse extinguished. Your fire did work against her ghostly form.
Threw another boon in there if you want to use it.
Oh.
Oh, are you talking? I think you on the wrong side of the mute.
I'm just grunting at the moment, not talking.
Fair enough.
Yeah, let's go fireball with a boon.
Fireball with a boon.
Question is, do I want to use it on the mummy or the ghostly figure? Well, let's go with the ghostly figure.
Ghostly figure, you got it. And it looks like one more boon was added in. Thank you, Anonymous. Is that with the boon? Roll one more time because the boon didn't take.
That's weird because I have the boon on.
Maybe it's not smart enough. These sheets are new to me, and I think they're actually new to Roll20. Because I think they only came out basically a week ago.
13 hits.
13 hits. That got it. Oh, and a big 12.
Max damage.
The form does not completely dissipate, but there's a lot less there than there was before. Aiden, anything else? And keeping an eye on Grub.
That's all.
You got it. That's going to give us 5. 5 is the lady. The lady. Nope, we don't double up. She will reach out and strike. Is that 2 anonymouses? Oh, and that's an Amit. 2 boons in the set. And closest character is going to be Mikander. Mikander, you are getting a strike at you as she reaches out, swings the ghostly image of her warhammer. As it impacts, you will be knocked back unless you dodge. You do not have an action left, so here comes your 2d6ing. That is 6, that is 1, that is 7 points of damage, and you are bounced firmly off the wall. Coming to a close. Thank you for all the donations out there, folks. We got 2 boons in the pot. We are now at 6 for Krisanna. Krisanna, what do you got?
I have a torch in my backpack and I've got a flint and tinder. Can I use my action to light another torch?
Yes. You would pull your torch out, and probably the fastest way to light it is, I think Bastion is technically carrying the other torch. So the torch is probably like right there. So just lighting it off at Bastions would be your fastest way to get a torch lit.
Okay, so I'll do that so we've got another flaming option.
You got it.
And then I might... Bastion's got a long weapon, doesn't he? I will stay in that position.
Okay. Sounds good. That's going to bring us to 7 and then 8. 8 is going to be the lady again. The lady... turns to the closest person. That's going to be between Krisanna and Orla. Krisanna low number, Orla high number. Krisanna, it's you. She turns to look at you as you light that torch up. She reaches out and into your chest, catching hold of your heart and squeezing.
Doesn't
For
sound
12
good.
points of damage.
Ooh,
Armor has no effect, and you become
that's
scared.
me down. I have 9 hit points, so that's me down.
Krisanna, you have fallen to 0 hit points. At 0 hit points, you start making death saving throws. Your friends can help you by either rallying you with a persuasion, which lets you keep on fighting even though you stay at 0 and keep making death throws, or by using a healing check to bind your wounds. So, Krisanna's in a bad way at the moment, but not dead yet. That's going to be 9 and then 10. 10 will be Bastion. Krisanna has fallen to the ground. Very pale little halfling now. Bastion, what are you up to?
All right. So I have a question. I have this hunting instincts. I just throw this up there to see what this does. Features that are featuring. All right, and then all right. Okay. And you said I can help Krisanna.
Yep, so you could use a persuade to convince Krisanna just to keep on fighting, even though she's still dying. You could use a heal check to actually bandage Krisanna up and stop her from dying.
Not great at either of those.
Okay.
So I'm going to move in front to grab this lady's attention. And I'm going to end my turn. I'm going to save my initiative card. Now.
Instead of drawing a new one. You still get to use your action. You can still use your action now. You would just have a 10 to begin with next round, which is probably not beneficial. That's more to save a good low one.
So in that case, I'll use hunting instincts.
Okay.
As my action. Pull it up.
You got it. So you can now track her, and you can get boons on attacks from here forward. You got it.
All right, that's me.
Reset our set. Let's go ahead and give us a quick shuffle here and bring us back into turn order. We're going to go Makander. We're going to go Aiden. We're going to go Bastion. We're going to go Orla. We're going to go Krisanna. That is going to be 5. 10. Bastion 4. Orla 2. Krisanna 8, which is good because that means friends get to go before you do. The lady will get a 3 and a 6.
Am I correct? Did someone try using the torch?
The torch
Yeah, I
is
put
not
one out.
connected yet. It just missed. So the torch has
Got it.
missed the ghost, and a torch was put out in the corpse of the mummy. But that seemed to be more enthusiasm than an actual effect. That'll bring us to Orla on 2. Krisanna is still dying.
And I suck at healing and persuasion, so I'm going to take the torch which Krisanna had,
Uh-huh.
and I'm going to try to toast this corpse again.
Okay, you're going for the corpse again.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll allow the knife. Just don't roll another demon. 15 over 14, so it's just not particularly flammable. So you are definitely scorching it, but it's,
Yep. It's just not made of burnable material. I get it.
Yeah, they used fire retardant gauze. Orla, that's going to be you. That's going to bring us to a 3, which is going to be the lady. The lady. Bastion, you are now the close person. So Bastion, the lady reaches out and takes hold of you, and a icy chill of death streams into your body. You may attempt to dodge this because you still have an action left, or I can roll to damage you. Which would you like?
I'm going to dodge is
evade.
what?
Roll an evade and roll below your evade button.
All right, I'm going to try a dodge and see what happens.
Go ahead and roll an evade. That uses up your action. 6 is
Nice.
lower than 12, so you managed to get out of the way of the grasp. No damage done. That will use up her turn and your turn. That will then be 5 Makander.
All right, I'm going to step forward. I'm going to take a gamble that maybe the battle hammer, maybe it's magical. Who knows?
Maybe
I'm going
it's
to take
magical.
a swing at her.
Who knows? Let's take a swing.
So I guess I would
roll your
hammers?
hammers. 10 is better than a 14. And One moment as I check on that Warhammer's damage. I think they are D10-ish. Uh, 2d6s, excuse me.
2d6.
10 points of damage, and you are rewarded. That Warhammer is indeed magical. As you bring it down, it shatters the ghostly figure before you. She fades. And over the next few minutes, the corpse is slowly charred by Orla's, just slow roast
Slowly
technique.
roasting over an open fire. Yeah.
And so, you have a jeweled magical warhammer. You can see that the platters set out are quite fine. Silver, gilt edges. There's a door to the north and a door to the east and west. Frozen portcullis to the south. Two torches
Do
are
I need
on
to
the
roll?
wall. Good.
I'm gonna
Do I
run
need to
over
roll?
here.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna run over and try a healing check on Chrisana.
Yep, that would be good.
Is there a way to help? Oh, never mind. Oh,
Ooh.
nice.
Oh, Aiden's on top of it. So no matter how bad the death roll had been, Chrisana will be recovered from there. Chrisana is bandaged up. So the question
Thank
is,
you.
at
Is it
11
cold or
at
is it just
11
me?
at 11:01, which is a minute past our cutoff time, is the party opening that northern door?
I would be down.
Let's do this.
Let's do it. Do we need to
Come
heal
on,
up?
we're going for a TPK.
So Chrisana, you can recover 1d6 hit points.
Okay.
But there would not be time for any more resting.
Hey,
Chrisana's back with 6.
thank you, Aiden. Aiden.
Yeah, I don't know how to say my name either.
It's a good name.
Aodhan.
Before we go in, is there any way for me to turn my arrows into things that I could light on fire?
Sure. Yep.
Okay.
A little bit of oil, a little bit of cloth. You could make some makeshift fire arrows. I'll say we'll give you a bane on the roll for doing that, as they're not designed for it.
Okay. All right. I'm ready. Let's go.
We're ready. Let's go.
Open the door.
Open the door. The door opens.
Might hang back a touch.
Oh,
A sarcophagi inside. You can
Not who
see
I
the
expected.
ghostly form of the white in repose inside it, but above it, hanging down, a massive spider.
Finish this.
The spider lurches
two?
towards you. Whoop, nope, just
Yeah.
one. Get the other one out of there.
Oh,
it's like, uh-oh.
No,
wait, hold on. That changes.
nope,
Still the
nope.
same.
Never mind.
They're
Massive
multiplying in real time.
spider
Alright.
lurching
Sorry, guys.
towards you. Nope, that was the
Wrong
DM
door.
pulled more than were expected. But let's go ahead and bring some initiative out here. We got McCander with a 10. We got Aiden with a 4. We got Bastion with a 1. We got Orla with a 3. And we're going to have Chrisana with a 5. Spider's going to be going on 8 and 9. So let's get that set up here. It's going to be 8 and 9. Get out of my way, door. Hey, thanks for the raid out there, Armin. Nice to see you. We are in the middle of our Extra Life campaign. We are playing some Dragonbane, and our party has just entered into combat with a massive spider. And I have just gone completely unable to update things. One second here as we get this run around. Bastion, you got the 1. Aiden, where'd you go? You got the 4. Krisanna pulled the 5. And Orla got the 3. Get all our cards out of the way here. And so, going with a 1, Bastion, huge spider descending down.
Yeah. I am going to move in, but making enough room for a Kinder to come in after me and long spear this thing.
You got it.
Okay. There we go.
2 is good, 12 is damage. Uh, even with 12 damage, you basically just nicked it.
Okay. Not great.
Doesn't bode well.
Nope.
That's going to be number 2. Nope, number 3, Orla.
I'm gonna take twin shot with regular arrows.
You got it. Twin shot with regular arrows. 14 matches, that'll hit. Go ahead and give me another roll on the damage dice.
That's just is that the D6 plus 6?
D12.
Plus 6?
D12.
Do I get the plus 6 because the favorite weapon?
Sure. I'll say yes because I don't know any better.
And it's late at night.
And we're past cutoff. 13 plus 9, 22. Heck of a hit. But it is a big spider. Orla was 3. That's going to be 4. Aiden.
What does this room look like inside?
This is most likely the large burial chamber where the head person was put to rest. In the middle of the burial chamber, with torches on the wall, stands a podium with an ornate sarcophagus of stone. The floor, ceiling, and walls are made of stone bricks. A painting of a ridden dragon can be seen on the far wall. Some of the stonework has given way, and you can see there must be just enough space for the huge body of this spider to clamber about to reach other chambers, even when this door is closed.
How high is the ceiling?
How high is the ceiling? An excellent question. I'm going to say 5 meters.
I am casting Pillar under the spider.
Oh. And I believe Pillar under the spider is the Earthbender move where just a pillar of earth comes up.
Mm-hmm.
Aha.
Take the corpse with it.
Sarcophagi, corpse, and spider are all moving upwards towards that ceiling at a high speed. And it is successful. If someone is standing in that spot, the Vista must make an acrobatics roll to avoid falling off. Nope. Under a low ceiling, and we call this a low ceiling, 2d6 damage instead. Can I get 2d6 damage? 8 points of damage, and the spider is momentarily pinned. Squished between the ceiling and the floor that is now risen. Aiden, anything
Uppercut with a
else?
fly swatter.
That is all for me.
You got it. That's going to bring us to Krisanna with a 5.
Just gonna lean in past Mikander and peg a dagger up at it.
You got
Hope
it.
for the best.
Dagger throw. 14-14 matches up, and 2 more hit points are shaved off the massive spider. Krisanna, anything else?
Probably just step back a bit so that if somebody else needs to peek out, they can.
You got it. That's going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 and 9 are the spider. The spider is pinned up there. First spider move. She will just kind of skitter about, turning herself so that her back is facing Bastion, and then a squirt of webs comes towards Bastion. Bastion, can I have an evade roll from you, please?
Okay. There you go.
A 7. You manage to avoid the webbing attack. She reels it in, but doesn't bring you within reach. Followed up within 2 meters. Yep, she'll have used some of her movement to squish out from from above that pillar, coming down. Bastion, we've got a tearing attack coming at you. She is frantically swinging legs as she claws at you. And that is going to be a D8 for damage. And that is 8 points of damage to Bastion. Reduce that by your armor, please. Bringing us to Mikander.
All right, I'm gonna step in and use the warhammer.
Okay.
And a miss.
16 will miss. That'll get us to the end of our turn order. We'll get a quick reset in here. Pull some cards. And we got a Mikander at 6, an 8 and an 8, a Bastion at 5, an Orla at 2, and Krisanna pulls the 10. And our spider's going to go on 7, 3, and I have a ferocity, so a 1. With the 1, she spider is going to stare you down. Bastion, Mikander, and Orla, as you look into the multitude of eyes this spider has, I need a fear check from each of you, please. Will roll, and you want to roll under your will. You are all made of sturdy stuff. No effect there. That's going to bring us to 2, Orla.
All right, take a shot.
16 over 14 will not hit.
And can I toss my dagger to Christiana?
Sure. Yep.
Toss hers up.
Free action, toss a dagger on the ground over towards Krisanna. And that's going to bring us to the 3, which is the spider again. Spider. ramming speed. She backs into the corner, leaps forward at Bastion. Bastion, she's going to try and slam into you. Do you wish to dodge or take the damage?
I think I'm going. Crap. Well, McKender's right after me, so I'll try to dodge.
All right, evade roll, please.
All right.
6 is better than 12. She slams into the wall, avoiding you, backs up, and that is then going to bring us to 3, 4, 5. 5 is going to be Bastion.
I thought that was my turn.
Oh, that was your turn. Excuse me.
Reacted.
Yeah, dodge was your
Yep.
turn. And then 6, McCander.
All right, I will take another swing with the Warhammer. I'll use a boon this time.
Boon deployed. Thirteen's better than 14. Go ahead and give me the 2d6.
2d6, and then I think, do I get an additional 1d4 because of my strength?
Yes.
I have a damage bonus because of.
Oh, if you
Okay.
do, yes, please. Go ahead and take that.
That plus. So 7 points.
7 points of damage. You got it. That was 6. Spider is on 7. Spider this round. McCander, this one's coming at you for having just attacked. She raises her rear end and attacks you. But it's the bite that's coming in because this is a poison attack. Excuse me. 2 points of damage. Are you wearing armor better than 2?
Yeah, I've got the plate is 6.
You got it. That is very good because the bite does not make it through, and therefore the poison is not injected. That'll bring us to
Oof.
8 for Aiden.
Can you only move once per turn?
No, you can move, action, and move again.
Okay. As I'm moving to 4, I say, "Hey, duck, duck."
Me? Are you talking to me? Yeah. Oh shit!
And there is a fireball
Fireball.
for a whopping 2 points of damage.
Oh, 2 is still some damage. I think Aiden was still going to be doing a little bit of movement, maybe, and then Krisana at 10.
I didn't see that bonus damage thing there above the skills. Does that mean I'm supposed to add a D3? Sorry, D6 to.
D6 to any dexterity-based skills.
Okay.
So it should be rolling when you roll the. It should be in there automatically.
Okay. Okay, cool. I will, just similar to last time, I will step to the side there and try to.
Sure. Huckadife.
Pick up the knife that was slid back to me before by Ola as well.
You got it.
And
Casey?
Yeah.
Remove a boon from our boon total.
Oh.
It used it this time.
Ah, okay. Thank you much. Honesty is always appreciated. Knife works, though, and 8 points of damage certainly works. The spider would be on its last legs, but it had a lot of them to get started. So we're going to go into another round here. Yep. There was a drum sting. Probably the last one. Let's see how we do. Mikander is going to go on 1. Aiden's going to go on 10. Bastion's going to go on 9. Orla's going on 6. Krisana's on 2. And our spider is on 8 and 3. Mikander, since you're going on 1, what are you up to?
I will take a swing with my new prize that I get to take home with me because looting is okay here.
Looting is okay. And $5, a boon just came through. Thank you for the boon. And let's see here. Hammer's 10 is less than 14. So let's see that 2d or 3d6s for
2d6 plus 1d4.
1d4. There you go.
9.
9 there. Not quite enough. But she is looking much weakened. Let's see here. Who was on 2? That was
That was Chrisena.
Krisana on 2. Krisana, you got it.
You said it's looking bad, looking rough.
Looking rough.
I will go in, use backstabbing, and
Ooh.
just double checking. Yeah.
Yep.
So I get a boon to the roll, and I will dagger. Boon did not help.
Even with the moon. 15 over 14, it just did not land. Hard to tell where the back is on a giant spider. And so that's going to be 2, 3 is going to be the spider. As she's sort of scrambling around, it is going to be a web shot again. Krisana, she's going to try and bundle you up. Can I get a evade from you, please? $18 over 14. You are webbed in place and may not move out of that corner unless you break free with your strength. That will take an action. That will be 4, 5, 6, 6 to Orla.
All right. I'm taking another shot at it. No.
18
dot.
will miss. 7, 8 is Spider again. Spider. Mandible attack. It is just a flat out bite. Mikander, I think this one's coming at you. Four, 6, 7, 8. 8 points of damage as she slashes into you. Please reduce that by any armor you may have. 9 will bring us back to Bastion. Bastion, what do we got?
Long Spirit again.
Long Spirit again.
Right from more. All right. Looks like that'll hit.
11 hits, and as many of my monsters managed to do, 13 is 1 point shy of the 14 hit points left. She's got the blinking red health bar. 1 hit point remains, but somebody has to finish it off. Aiden?
Well, I have 1 fireball left.
You got 1 fireball
There we go.
left.
End it on the fireball.
Do we have any boons in the pot? I think we're at 0, so I believe this is just a straight fireball roll.
No.
Oh no.
Another demon has appeared. The spell
The
backfires.
lesson here is not to cast Fireball anymore.
Maybe Aiden's just not a fireball person. The spell affects you instead of the intended target. 7 points of damage as Aiden chokes on his toad. We got one more round here. We'll pull the spider real quick and see if it matters. 10 and a 4. So the 4 is the number to beat. Let's see who can maybe do it. McCander's in at a 9. Aiden's in at an 8. Bastion's in at a 7. Statistically, one of you's got to get less than a 4. Orla's in at a 2. And then Krisana's in at a 5. Orla, you need to hit this to stop this spider. You match it and do your damage. The spider falls. Well done. With that, things go quiet. You can see that the white's ghostly form is regenerating within its sarcophagus. In a few hours, perhaps it would have resumed and been able to emerge, but as it is there, you're able to dispatch it quickly and make your way out of the Riddermound. There is loot, and there is rejoicing as you come back, and I'll turn it over to you all to narrate your exit and escape and maybe what you're doing with your new goblin friend. But what's all going on there, party?
I say we leave him here. We don't need him anymore. He's good. We'll grab the loot and leave.
Grub is all on board with this plan.
Yeah, you stay here. We'll be right back. And we're not coming back.
Now, when you say leave him here, does that mean like you're pulling up the rope?
Yeah, when he's
No.
not looking. No, we're not doing that. Okay.
No. We've
I got
done
it.
enough.
Just done enough atrocities for tonight.
All right. I'll say, this is my one good deed for the day. And,
He can't show up as like the big bad evil guy in 10 years if we let him,
Yeah, we'll hoist him up the rope and grab whatever loot we can on the way out.
Excellent. So you managed to return loot, magical warhammer, full set of silver, some fancy armor, and other accoutrement. You return back, and more adventure will happen, but we'll have somebody else pick that one up later. This has been Dragonbane, which is a D20 style system, which has been nice and fun. I really like how the monstrosities go. Thanks for the subscription out there, Cardman. Nice to see you. And we've got another session of Dragonbane from somebody who actually knows how to run this system coming up later in the week for the rest of our Extra Life campaign. His screen name is actually Mr. Dragonbane, and when I invited him and I was like, hey, maybe you should take part, he's like, sure, we'll do it this time. And I'm like, no, I meant like a year from now after I had some practice. But hey, so if you want to see how it's run properly, you can catch that one in a later session. But hopefully everybody had some fun. We did raise some funds for the kids, and we'll be continuing with our Extra Life sessions with our Lankmar tomorrow, and then the Dragonbane. Take a look at the schedule. I want to say was it Tuesday?
Tuesday. Yeah.
And we'll pick you up there. Any last minute
Well,
shout outs
Casey.
the party would like to do?
I'm just curious about the misfires. Where did those? Is that a table, or is it dependent on the spell, or where? How do those come up?
That is a table that comes in. There's actually Dragonbane's got a lot of pretty neat tables that you have for spell misfires and that sort of thing. I believe they're generic. It misfires not per spell. But they do have a lot of additional spell lore content in the full system. We're running off the quick rules here, but the full system's got a lot of how it was used, where the spell came from, who's famous for using it, good deep lore to look into, which is part of the reason I'm excited about maybe running the campaign that this is one segment of, or this is the intro of.
No, it's cool. I always like when failures or successes have the crit fails or crit successes have a little
Extra.
flair to it. Yeah.
Yeah, they've got
Though
they've
I
got
gotta
some neat
say,
effects.
that was a lot of failure.
Yeah, Jeff, I don't.
My God.
Maybe math rocks for you. I don't. I feel like Roll20 just doesn't like you as much.
The good news is we got to see a lot of the a lot of what those things were.
Yeah, a lot of the
Throat,
flavor
frog in
content.
the throat.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean
The
that's what I
vomiting up
was
a
going
toad
for.
I like.
We got to see more of the content. Yeah.
Yeah, more of the content.
We appreciate that, Jeff. Thank you for taking one for the team.
Yeah.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
All right, awesome. Well, thanks everybody. I hope to see you in the next couple of sessions, and then not this week, but starting again soon, we'll be back into our community campaigns. So if you would like to take part, those are mostly done in the 5e version. So we've got the community campaigns coming up, and then 2 to 3-ish months from now, I'll be hunting down folks for our next my next big campaign, because I know we've got space opening up for one of those as well. So thanks everybody. Catch you a bit later. And at the moment, we are up to $1,105 raised for the kids. So thanks everybody out there,
Awesome.
and looking forward to seeing you for the rest of the week. Ba-dum-bum. And Alex,
Thank you, Casey.
do you happen to be on the raid button to toss a raid somewhere?
Yeah, we'll toss a raid over to we'll go over the Goodman Games people.
Yeah, sounds good. We'll see you all there. Have a great night, everybody.
All right.